Starting broadcast. We are live now to air. Hello, Scotty. How are you going, buddy?
Good, mate. Good. I'm just getting the stream on. How
Awesome.
about yourself?
Awesome. I'm feeling good. And hello to the chat. Robert Muller was second. I was first.
Oh,
And Floyd Bromley and Xander's in the house. Can we just confirm the audio? We think we might be doubling up our audio. So if Xander and Floyd and Robert, can you hear when Scott talks? Can you hear him? Okay, big echo for Scott. Nice
okay.
one. Okay, cool. That's good to know. I'm going to fix that right now.
I don't want to talk too much because it's quite annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna fix that right now by doing this. Okay, that should have. That should have fixed it. That should have fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear myself now. There we go.
Cool. Okay. Nice to hear. Thanks for that, Floyd. We're also working on bringing Creeky in. Creeky just had some small issue. He wants the link again. It's not a new link. It's the same link. There it is for you, dude. Putting a strange Facebook precursor on the link, even though I copied it straight. Very weird, man. Just make sure, Creeky, make sure you've opened up Chrome and then just hit the link. Don't even copy and paste it. Just hit it. So make sure you're on Facebook in Chrome and that's what you do, Scotty, right?
Yeah, just open up Facebook in Chrome browser and just click the link and pop straight up.
We've had people have this issue before in the past, but it's just a case of clicking it and not doing anything else.
Yeah.
How's everybody going in the chat? Floyd, how are you going? And Xander, how are you going, buddy? It must be early for you.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Very early.
Pre-work, before work. Adelaide Crow's the best. Just joined us. Thanks, man.
Hey, mate.
Nice one. How's your week been, Scotty?
Yeah, good. We've I think the next 2 days are going to be about 40 degrees. So
damn.
In Melbourne, yeah. So yeah, it's been quite warm this week, but yeah, next 2 days are meant to be 40. We're going to be up in New South Wales, just over the border on Friday,
cool.
Saturday. Brittany's making faces. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be just over the border. And it's meant to be 40 degrees every day. So
wow, where are you going to be exactly?
Where are we going? Benalla. I don't even know where that is, but we're going there. I don't even know what's there, but we're going there.
Rad. I did love your birthday vlog, man. I know you said Brittany kind of coaxed you into putting that one out. I reckon you should do more like that, man. It was awesome.
Yeah, she did big time. I didn't want to release it, to be honest. It was it took me about 3 days of sitting there with it after editing it, because I just kept thinking this is the weirdest video I've ever made. Because of all the footage, I had about 40 minutes worth of footage, and I wanted to get it under 15 minutes. So that was the hardest part.
What part of it didn't you like? Like what was the?
I just thought it was strange. Like it was just, there was no story to it, or sorry, the cat's trying to come on. That there was, it was just all over the joint, and it was just weird. But then as soon as I put it on, everyone, there was like 40 comments in the first day of it being up. Everyone saying how much they loved it. So maybe I should listen to it more often. But
thank you.
yeah, I don't know what that was.
Wow. Creeky just sent me a photo on Messenger saying it says you're not allowed to join this video call. What the hell?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's not something I've set. Cameraman settings, broadcast settings, as guests join, hide their audio, no. I haven't done anything, man. Like, let's invite people.
Chrome, is it your Chrome?
It shouldn't be. Creeky, I just tried inviting you again.
I mean, Creeky's Chrome, sorry.
Yeah, Creeky, could you have something to do with your Chrome, possibly? Have you got a pop-up blocker or something? But that wouldn't make sense, because you were in just a second ago. We actually had him, before we went live, I had him there, and he just had some issue that he had to drop out and come back. But I haven't done anything, Creeky, so...
Tech is hard.
It's interesting if that's going to be the same link. It's going to be the same issue, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I had no issue with it, yeah.
Yeah, strange, hey?
He's been on with Google Hangouts before that, hasn't he?
Totally, yeah.
Oh. That's odd.
Can I physically add him? Can I go and bring him in somehow?
I have no idea.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Check the buttons at the top.
Invite people, yeah.
Adelaide Crows are the best, said Ned Kelly country. Is that Benalla? It could be. Honestly, I've never been there before, but Floyd said, Benalla isn't quite at the border. Yeah, as I said, I have no idea where it is. I think it's like an hour from Echuca. I could be wrong. Yeah. Xander said he'll watch the birthday vlog and hasn't got around to it yet. Yeah, thanks, mate. You're going to see some Australian crazy animals on there. Adelaide Crow said he really liked it. Thank you. The wonders of the internet. Tech is hard.
I'm going to try adding Creeky via an email address because that will maybe provide him with a different link, maybe. Possibly. #tech is hard, Ben Wilson. We haven't heard that for a while.
Haven't we?
No, we haven't. We've had it. We haven't heard it for a while.
Yeah, that's it. What have you been working on anyway?
I've just been working on, well, I guess I can mention it, but I haven't got it yet. But I have got a sponsorship with a wetsuit manufacturer. Actually, awesome. Someone put on my in my comments that I should check out Arzen wetsuits, and so I did. I hooked into Arzen and I ended up getting a sponsorship for wetsuits, which is awesome. Pretty rad. Yeah,
you're on a roll with that.
Yeah, I kind of like. I really needed it for obviously for winter and coming up to colder months, and I knew that I couldn't be surfing without a wetsuit, so I was going to have to either buy one or try to get an endorsement. And I reached out to Arzen first, and then I reached out to the two big companies, Rip Curl and O'Neill. Yeah. And O'Neill came back saying it's a great idea. We're really busy right now with this and that. So hit us back in, say, 6 months. And I was like,
that's odd.
Kind of, did you read the email? Because
how hard would it be to just go, yeah, okay, here's a wetsuit.
yeah. And also I need it for the autumn waiver day, which is before 6 months. Yeah. But then Arzen got back to me, and I feel like it's better to sort of be with the smaller crew anyway, because these guys, they're new, well, they're 7 years old in the game, and they're just the smaller player. So I feel like, yeah, I'd give them the shot. Yeah, but who was that anybody playing there right now? Ben Wilson, Xander Round, Adelaide Crows. Who was it that put that in my comments to go and check out Arzen? Because I got to thank you for that.
Yeah.
Barry's views, you probably need a wetsuit all year round in the UK.
Does anyone even surf in the UK?
Hey, did you get in the water down there at the peninsula on your birthday weekend?
So it's past the peninsula, yeah, way past the peninsula. No, not really. Just to chase the nephew in a few times. He loved it. He got straight in. Cool. The first day we were there, it was quite warm. It said it was about 20, but it felt like it was about 27, 30. And then after that, it was like 20 degrees. And then the third day, we had 15 mil of rain. So
yeah, it really hammered down, didn't it?
Oh, it was shocking. Felt like, I've been going down there since I was a kid, so I was used to it. Any type of weather can happen there. So if I show you my phone, if you can see that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Just there. That's Wilson's Pond. So that's where I was.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me lock you off. Okay, so that's stuck on you now. Wilson's
exactly me. So that blue dot, that blue dot's me, and I was all the way down here. So
and put it back,
not quite the peninsula.
Yeah, where was I saying the peninsula? Even that's way back.
Yeah.
Up, isn't it?
There's Wilson's Prom. The peninsula is on the other side. So
way off.
Peninsula is like here. Yeah, but yeah, it's a different sort of weather down around there. I'm telling you, it's completely unpredictable. And you got Bass Strait coming straight off. So there's quite a few people out there surfing, but yeah, I wasn't game enough.
Fair enough.
Not a chance.
Barry says, "Oh no, in a wetsuit, how am I going to go for a pee?" That's the thing, Barry. You pee in it first. Like that's how you get warm. Yeah,
as long as it's not a number 2, you should be all right.
Could you imagine taking a dump in a wetsuit? That'd be crazy.
Oh god, it wouldn't be pretty. Adelaide Crow said, "Why can't you fly the drone there?" Because we have our crazy drone laws where you can't fly drones in national parks, and that's a big no-no. Not that it's stopped anyone ever. Like, if you go on YouTube and type in Wilson's Prom drone, there are people flying their drones everywhere. If you go on Instagram and you search Wilson's Prom, there's hundreds of drone shots. But I'm not risking that. I don't know. I don't want to know what the fine is, but
there's a technical way you can get around it, and it's launching the drone out of the national park and flying over the national park. So you'd have to launch from the water, like go out on a stand-up paddleboard, and then you're not technically in the national park, you're in the water, and you could launch from there and go across and come back. But
yeah, I've seen videos of people launching it from their campsite to the top of the mountain that I climbed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all the wildlife and all that stuff down there, it's a big no-no.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it would be amazing, but it really would. Like, I got to show like 0.00 of how beautiful that place is. And it's like, you can imagine the drone shots you could get. It's such a cock tease.
You got hit with bad weather as well too, so there's that.
Yeah. But yeah, the first 2 days I was there were beautiful. I didn't have a problem except for going up the mountain. As soon as we got to the top of the mountain, it just came straight over the top of us again. And then as soon as we got down the bottom, it was blue skies.
Yeah. Hey Barry, I did mention that I would like to see Rosie out there in the water. Then I could get on that bandwagon as well. Where's the trending one?
Is that Jay?
Lukey's asking.
Is that where Jay is? He's
yeah. Well, Jay. Yeah, sorry, Jay can't be with us tonight, and neither can Danny. Danny's on the shipboat, and Jay's out at a barbecue. And we were going to have the other trending one, Creeky, but he seems to be having an awful lot of trouble joining this Google Hangout, and I can't see him. I asked him for his email, and he hasn't responded. So,
well, if you can't make it tonight, we'll have him hopefully next week then, and we can have Jay, and who was actually there at his talk.
Yeah, exactly. Jay's shark hunting. Yeah, he's out there milking that even further somehow. don't know how he'd do that.
I don't know how he could.
Yeah,
make another 17 videos.
Yeah, how many was it in total? It must have been about 7 or 8. Surely.
7 or 8, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
that's flogging a dead fish.
No pun intended.
But then again, as people did say, they wanted to know. They wanted to know where and the story and how it all happened. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting from Jay's point of view from now on what he does to keep that audience, because now well over half of his subscriber base is coming from Rosie the Shark, and
100%.
How's he going to satisfy that audience? You
know,
like, what did he put up a video this morning, didn't he? I didn't watch it.
He put up one of his skateboarding videos.
Yeah, that's it.
All his skateboarding ones do well, so
right.
I think he'll be right. Surely he'll be right, but you wouldn't think too many. There was a few comments in there being like, "What the hell is this?" Because I think they were used to abandoned stuff, or
okay.
Or if you want to class the shark as abandoned, but it's yeah,
I don't know. I mean, Lukey, you're in the chat. You kind of kicked it all off, and then I felt like then there was a rush from everybody else to jump on it and get it, whereas I think you had it. So I don't know. It seemed like a mad rush from everybody just to. Well, actually, that's one question I wanted to ask Creeky. Creeky said in a private message, he said, no, it was at the end of my live stream on the weekend when I talked about responsibility from YouTubers. Creeky said something like, I think the question needs to be asked what the intent was of everybody that made everybody that made a Rosie video. And my answer to that was the ones that came after Lukey's went viral, the only point of those videos was to pump theirs out to get virality, like 100%.
There's people posting videos about Rosie that don't even do abandoned stuff, that don't even have anything to do with it, like at all, have nothing to do. Literally, like it'd be like a makeup channel, and they're talking about Rosie, or it'll be a buddy, a guy on a skateboard doing electric skateboard. No, I'm just kidding.
Here comes Jonathan. Sent me his email. I'm going to add him via email, see what happens.
Okay, hopefully that works. We'll go into the comments. Barry said Jaws 2. That's already been done, so we've got about Jaws 15 by now. Lukey said it. Yes.
Xander makes a good point. He says if one of my mates was on a wave, I'd jump on it too. To be honest, that's true, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a little too much. It was like if anyone's. I made this analogy in a private group chat with the CreatorCast crew, and I said this wave analogy doesn't really sit so well, because you think about it when you're surfing, which is where this analogy comes from. I'm going to ride that wave. If you ride someone else's wave, it's called dropping in, and invariably you'll end up getting a kick in the head from the surfer.
Yeah.
It just happens to be that that wave was Lukey's wave, and
Yeah.
Lukey seems like a genuinely beautiful guy, and he didn't really care
Yeah.
that anybody else came and dropped in on it. So it's
Yeah.
nice, but I don't know.
But it's got to Lukey over time, as you can imagine. Like, you know, I made my video probably 3 weeks after he brought his out, before it was even moving.
Yep.
Not to say that I'm toot my own horn or whatever, but yeah, after that, as you said, everyone else just jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe how many videos there were made about it, and I still don't know how they could be going. And I could understand from Lukey's point of view of him doing it, to be honest. I mean, he has the video with 11 million views and whatnot. I can understand him doing it because it's his video, let's be honest. It's his discovery.
Totally.
Yeah, other than that, I just find it a little bit, you know.
I mean, Jay's not here to defend himself, but I would still have this same topic of discussion, this same angle to say, because he did rush to get his video out. The second that Lukey's was taking off, he rushed to do his, and then it seemed like there was a rush and a rush and a rush to keep that momentum going. Whether that's
so at the end of the day, it's worked out for him. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it has in terms of numbers, and that's what I wanted to get back with Creeky, and we can see him now. He's joined us.
I'm here.
Creeky. Awesome.
Can
got
you
any
hear me?
light there, dude?
Sorry?
Got some lights there? Can you turn a light on or something?
Yeah. Hey, Siri, turn Larry up 100%.
Oh, jeez, look at it.
You call your light Larry.
That background drops. You're looking like you're fresh from the newsroom there, mate.
That's it. Look at me. I can't see myself.
Shirt and tie.
I'm trying to pop out the chat from the live so I can watch the chat at the same time.
Well, we can hear you and see you, and you can hear us and see us. That's great. It's good that you're here right at this point, because you might have just heard the tail end of what we were discussing.
Do you like
I
that
wanted
light?
to ask you, Creeky. Hey, that looks better. You got some more light going on.
The problem is I'm using my face. I'm using the camera off my computer, not my DSLR, so it auto exposes down darker.
Oh yeah, they do.
I look haunted there. I need a light.
You look like an undercover cop or something, mate. FBI agent.
Undercover cop. I look like a real cop.
Where's the? Let's go back to the chat for a sec while Creeky gets set up, man.
Yeah, sorry guys. This
That's
has
all right.
been very distracting, and we tried to get it sorted, but it
You
just
sound awesome with that.
Yeah, that mic sounds great.
Oh, does it? I've never heard this mic back ever
beautiful.
myself. So
Yeah,
Very nice. Hey, Creeky, you left a comment at the very end of my live stream on Saturday saying, and I think I just said something to the effect of, everybody that pumped out a Rosie video straight after Luke's went viral, something along the lines of there has to be some responsibility. What was the words? There has to be some duty of care from those creators, and then you said, and unfortunately it was after time, but you did say you have to look at the intent of those people, and that ties into your TEDx talk, because one of the key messages I got from watching that back was that you said,
oh yes, you're one of the secret watchers, aren't you? There's only a handful of people who've seen that bootleg copy. We can't say where it's come from.
Yeah, fair enough. We were
source.
lucky enough to have a look at it, but one of the points you made there was to not, you didn't say the word strike while the iron's hot, but you said the time of most relevance. Lucky enough to have a look at it. But one of the points you made there was, yeah. Creeky.
I've lost him there. Oh, look out.
Boom.
It's Australian Casey Neistat. He's here.
Australia's Casey Neistat.
Okay, we're getting a double up somewhere there. Who's got the double up?
Yeah, Creeky, you might have the sound on if you've opened up the chat.
G'day, Jay.
I'm all good.
Weird. Okay.
You're really low in volume too, Jay. Have you got any way to turn that up?
Is that better?
Okay, so it's just that. Okay.
It's all good. How's everyone going?
Good.
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 Just the usual tech issues, Jay.
Creeky has the world on his shoulders. Look at it.
Yeah. Do you like the new set that I haven't used yet?
I do
Looks
like
good.
that. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
Jay, why are you holding the camera like an old man?
Because the microphone's down here, and I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I could hold it out here, I guess. Is that better?
That works.
Is that better? That's probably
better. That's way better.
Okay, and I'll hold it like that. There we go.
John Nee says these Aussies think they are in the lucky country. We don't think that. We know
We know
that. Jay, you at a barbecue, man? What's going on there?
No, you can probably see the Balti Bridge behind us. There's some boys riding skateboards with us.
Yeah, out on a cruise. Cool.
Yeah, we're just doing cruising. I won't stay very long because I know it's probably annoying for me being here with all the echoing and stuff.
Well, no, there's no echo now. John Nee says Australia has the highest tobacco prices in the world. Well, that's only a problem if you're a smoker, which not many of us are.
I don't think we all are.
That's because it kills you. We're doing you a favour.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, Jay, it's good that you are here because we were talking about the Rosie videos and people jumping on and rushing videos out. And we were just saying that I was just trying to clarify a point that Creeky made in my live stream, that the intent of the creator needs to be questioned. And I wanted to ask you straight up, was the intent that you had to get views and subscribers, or was your intent to save the shark, if you like?
I think it was both, to be honest. I think it was not to save the shark originally because we didn't know that the Rosie needed saving. But for me, it was, just listening to the comments. I guess those creators, we have to listen to what our viewers want. Like you said before, Benin, you do one for you do one for your audience. And I kind of followed that principle.
You did 8 for your audience.
Oh, well, it's winning, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but would you say the overriding thing for you was to get because you did rush those videos out? Would you say that the overriding thing was to get the views, or would you say the overriding thing was to follow the story?
I didn't rush. I didn't rush. I rushed. I wouldn't say rush, but I rushed one of them because, sometimes when you're out on the surf like you, Benin, you need to quickly get on that wave, and I did that first, and then I realized that the comments, I was reading all the comments from those people that were watching, and they wanted to know more. So, I provided more, and I think that's what you do as a content creator. You create what you want for you and what you want for your audience. Don't see any harm in it.
No, it's no harm in it. We're just trying to work out the motive and the intent, because that's going to tie into.
But do you have to? Is there there's obviously intent when you make a series of snorkel videos, or you make for Creeky, you make it to TED Talks, and he's going to be promoting that however much he can. I think that's fine.
But
you're good at.
But your Rosie videos were pretty off brand for you. That was more like investigative reporting, really, and you don't really seem to do that aside from this one time.
Can I step in?
Sure.
I actually don't think I actually look at what Jay did with Rosie and sort of saw it as a kick in the pants for myself. Look, I can understand if there's other people who did the video first and then Jay comes in and does his own and then does his own and then does his own and sort of takes over the issue. But I mean, this has been going on since the day that there was ever media or reporters, that people fight over stories. There's been plenty of stories where reporters have broken the story, and then it's the one who's followed up that has gone on to win the Walkley. And I think I don't think it was out of Jay's wheelhouse to do those Rosie stories, because it all comes back to Urbex, and it's not the very first Urbex video I'd ever did. Now, I think if I went out there and did the Rosie story and then went and did 100 Rosie stories, I think you'd call me out and say, I think it's out of your wheelhouse. What are you doing? You're just, you're leeching off other people's success. Where, I think for Jay, he just went after it. And I think that's sort of what you need to do on YouTube if you want to grow. I think looking at his numbers, I'd like them.
That pretty much speaks for you, Jay?
Yeah, I think Creeky's right on it. I think, if you find, for instance, like I've done 150 skateboard videos, and no one's ever called me out for being milking skateboards. You know what I mean? Just because the subjects come along and it's quite popular at the moment, I'm going to continue giving people what they like. And so long as I've got information and content that I think is worthy, that's new and different and relevant, then why not? Like,
where would that end though? Like, would you jump on and do fidget spinner videos, for instance?
Well,
genuine question.
It's a stupid question, to be honest, because it's not within what I do. Urban exploring and Rosie being in an abandoned building, and that's relevant for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the point is, if he finds a whole big box of fidget spinners in an abandoned warehouse, he probably would do a fidget spinner video.
It probably wouldn't be too hard these days, would it? They're not very popular anymore.
But yeah. I mean, I think Scott, Scott, I'd love to hear from you on this, because I don't know the urbex culture. I don't know the people. So, yeah, is there a code? What's the code? What's the code amongst the explorers?
Well, the whole
that's
Rosie
really
thing.
what it's getting down to, Ben. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole.
Is there a code, or is it just go for it? Because I've seen a couple of times when, hey, who's this dude? You're getting stalked.
He's my boy. It's Timmy.
No, hey, Timmy. See, because I've seen a lot of you guys copy each other all the time, or go exploring together, and then I think I've even raised with you, Scott, previously, is what's the deal here? Who gets to go first, or is there an unspoken code of, hey, I took Jay to this building, so my video comes out first, and then his video. So like when Jay came with me to TEDx the other day, you know, I just sort of said to him, so you know, this is mine. I don't mind if you do a video on behind the scenes at TEDx, but you know, my video gets to go first.
Yeah, there's definitely that. I mean, there's been times where I've filmed not with Jay, but with others. Just for instance, like Lukey, we've been you know, hanging out heaps, and like we might record something, and we go, well, you know, we can't really both bring this out. Just like you have the video, you take it. There's that sort of thing. If you know, I invited someone to a location that was going to be something that I knew was going to be completely mind-blowingly awesome, I'd probably say, let me release the video first and then go ahead. But other than that, there's I mean, it's a free-for-all. It's YouTube. Go do your thing.
And that's the beauty of it too, is that everybody has a different way of editing. They see different things than what you do. And like, there's been explorers that Scotty's been to, and Lukey MC, he went to that abandoned mansion recently. He saw things that I didn't even see, and that's what I watch. I like to see things from a different point of view, and it's great. It's awesome, because Lukey or Scotty or anyone will go to the same place and have a different spin on it. So, yeah. And that's the thing with this Rosie stuff too. I'm sure everyone's sick of it now, but it's to a point where Lukey had his perspective. He did the crane stuff. I did different things, whatever. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing, I mean, like, I just saw it as Lukey's video. That was the thing, you know. It was Lukey's. You know, his 10 million views. That's your thing. Go out and do it. It's yours.
Yeah,
that's why
he did it very well.
That's why I made my one video. It was released, and then I'm done. I really don't like. I'm gonna, Jay. I haven't watched any of your repeat videos of the shark, just because I was completely over it by the first video that came out. It just got flogged, and it was a big part of what I do in my world. So, you know, I was seeing it everywhere. I couldn't go on Facebook without being tagged in a Rosie video or a Rosie photo. It's like, yeah, I saw it. I know, like, it's there. I would personally, I would have just left it for Lukey. It's, you know, obviously it was a big thing, but I don't know. It's worked for you, Jay. So well done.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's got an opinion, and yeah, that's absolutely fine.
It has raised a pretty interesting topic for you now, Jay, that because you've got this, like we were saying before, your audience now is over half of your subscriber base is there from Rosie. So how are you going to engage that crew? It's kind of like my snorkel mask thing, like where I've got this massive core audience that came from one video and I don't see them on other videos. How are you going to try to entice them to come and be there for the long run, if you like?
Yeah, well, I've already started doing that. I did a skateboard video that went live this morning. Talked about Rosie saying, thanks everybody for coming onto the channel. You may be interested in the skateboarding stuff. If not, hang around. There's a lot more abandoned building exploration to do. If that's not what you want, you can definitely unsubscribe. It's that easy. I mean, I'm here to do what I want to do and put out what I want to put out. And if people want to watch, fine. But that's as simple as it gets for me.
Cool.
And I think what's important with this too is, I think everybody who made Rosie videos after Lukey actually mentioned Luke in their videos.
Yeah, there's a bit of respect going on there.
So it's not like they've cut him out and ignored him. I think probably some of Lukey's growth has been from being exposed to other people's channels who have mentioned him and said, hey, here's this video that he did. And, yeah, I think that's part of the mystery of Rosie is that, let's be honest, Lukey's video wasn't it was just a walkthrough. It wasn't the best Rosie video, I wouldn't have thought, but he got the thumbnail right and he gets the chocolates. So good luck to him.
The chocolate. No, there's no ill feelings down there in the urbex community amongst the shark hunters.
No, everyone's just over it, mate. No one cares about it.
Yeah.
The proper urbex people don't give a shit about it, mate. It's done.
I love it. I am all over Rosie.
Yeah, you can have it. It's all yours.
Cool.
I could see you doing a video, man. Go down to Crystal World with your camera. You're a reporter.
Yeah, no, Crystal World doesn't excite me. But Rosie in the shed does.
That's where the shark is now.
I know.
In that regard, I feel like it was good that, Jay, you did jump on, because we were talking about this, but I was trying to tie it into the TEDx talk, because I think, Creeky, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of your core messages was to hit while peak relevance, and Jay certainly did that, right? He did that. Yeah. To make a video go viral, you said you have to be peak relevance.
The moment of peak relevance, yeah.
Yeah, can you elaborate on that and maybe talk about how Jay did that with his series of Rosie videos?
Well, the way that the algorithms work is that everyone's linked to everybody, right? So they link anyone that's ever interacted with each other, even been to similar locations, the algorithm knows. And so they know what's trending in terms of topics and discussions. Jay,
I'm here.
Was it there?
I'll just lock it on you for a second.
They know what's trending and going on in discussions. So, Luke is probably linked to Scott, and Scott's linked to Jay, and that's how it works. So it becomes a moment of peak relevance, because the time now when we can just post a video and expect views, it's over. It's gone. It doesn't exist. It has to be more emotional than that and more emotive to get people to actually take action. I mean, you look at the Facebook algorithm, and that's moved past pure viewing, getting you a positive response anymore. You actually have to have an interaction. There has to be an action from people to get that positive response. So to get that, you have to hit them at what I call a moment of peak relevance, which is when they're most likely going to react to it.
Okay.
On that note, appreciate all that, Creeky. I've got to head off and get skateboarding with these guys right here. But it's been good. I'm so glad I got to get in there and answer some of your questions, Benny.
Hey, Jay, just before you do go, can I ask you one quick question? How can you get 43,000 subscribers over to CreatorCast? We could get at least 1,000 out of that somehow, surely.
Sure.
Well, I hope so. I'll see what I can do.
Next time you're plugging to go elsewhere from Rosie somewhere else, plug them this way so we can at least get the monetization happening before next CreatorCon.
I think CreatorCast should sponsor Rosie. We should tattoo the one side of her.
There's definitely going to be a shark at CreatorCon somewhere, somehow.
Shark Bait Club.
Oh, Jesus. They're putting lights on me. I got to go.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
All right. See you guys.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Sorry, continue there.
And that trigger in the brain that triggers sharing, that triggers people to bring it up in a conversation, is all about being super relevant or hyper relevant at the moment. And that's definitely what Jay and a few others took advantage of. Here's this shark. It's a breaking story. Let's, as we were saying the other day, ride the wave. And that's pretty much what they did. They rode the wave.
Yep. Okay.
And it's a great strategy. I mean, you look at people who are good at getting publicity for themselves, self-promoting people, and that's what they do. They look for trends and they jump on it.
Okay. I don't want to dig too deeply into that specific Rosie situation again, because I feel like we've already been there. But sure. Yeah,
it's relevant. It's a moment of peak relevance for it at the moment, though.
True.
Yeah, you could see. I could argue against that and say it's not a moment of peak relevance, except for that Lukey brought it to the public eye. So that's why I don't agree with the analogy of riding a wave, because the wave was something that Lukey generated, and then someone else just came and wrote it. It's like, well, that's not cool in the surf world, in where the analogy comes from. You'll cop a punch to the head for that. But yet, if the guy that's riding the wave first says, "Yeah, jump on and we'll all go hang 10 together," that's fine as well. And that's seems to be how it went down here. But a moment of peak relevancy, like back to my original question, could you just jump on any peak relevancy and just hammer videos out? You're gonna completely separate your audience. You're gonna completely ostracize an audience. You're gonna split your channel in half. Yeah,
that's the art of it. It's absolutely the art of it. Is knowing where your channel is, knowing what road you're staying on. I call it setting up your rules of engagement, so you know where you can stretch yourself and where you don't. So, some people do try and jump over every issue that comes out, and they end up with a schizophrenic channel. They end up talking about 100 million different things, and then no one has a reason to go there. So, like, Ben, for you, I mean, you filter snorkel mask videos all the way through your life. I mean, you create a lot of content, but at least every couple of weeks you go back to your core. You set your channel up for wave a day, so the whole month, you had a thing, and that's why people were coming. Saturday mornings, you have a segment in your live stream, Outdoor Man with a Van.
But I'd argue that they're all waves that I generated myself. No one else rode that wave, and I just came onto it. I paddled for that wave and made that wave. Whereas my
I don't know if you're the first guy to create a snorkel video.
No, I'm not, but I'm the first guy to create a full face snorkel mask review that went over 1 million views, and that's my doing. And it wasn't like another person had made one and I went, "That's a good idea, I'll go and do that as well." And that's what I'm getting at. Like, can you, and that, like, can you?
But didn't you start an ASMR channel?
That was for shits and giggles, dude. And come on, man, that's completely irrelevant, because that's a separate channel that was almost like a test, just like vlogging in public was, and just like Scenic Beers was, and
just a bit of fun.
Yeah, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, but you're still trying. If the ASMR channel had gone off for you, you would have kept doing it. We all would.
Sure. Yeah.
We all would. I mean, that's the game. That's the game, isn't
it? The thing I'm interested in is the next month for Jay. I know, like, as you said, no one's... I mean, he's right in his lane. He's in his lane because obviously Rosie fell into the abandoned stuff. So I don't think anyone's really going to jump off. But as he starts posting more and more skateboarding content or whatever else he's doing around, whether he's just hanging out with the family, whatever, how many people just go, "What the hell is this?" And they just filter away. But I mean, that's always going to happen. I don't think he's going to lose any subscribers or anything like that. He stayed in his lane. If you think about it, he did.
I think, I think we can take this back to even collaborations. If you look at when, bigger YouTubers collaborate with smaller YouTubers, and then those smaller YouTubers, they fly off. I think Cody's an example of that. Oscar Boyson's an example of that. They pop, and then they stall because, it's a trend. Even Jake Paul, he popped for 2 years, and now he's coming back down to earth. I mean, that's the cycle of attention. And it's something we all battle. And I think, I think you look at how Jay went about Rosie, and he made a lot of videos about Rosie. He did a live stream saying the final chapter, and then the next 2 days he did 2 more videos on Rosie. So you could sit there and say, far out, man, you're flogging this dead shark. But, he was growing from it. So that's what kept him going, to the point where he wouldn't have done any more Rosie videos over the weekend, I don't think, if Rosie hadn't have been moved. So if Rosie was still in the shed, he wouldn't have done any more videos. I think he had to close it off, to be honest. I don't think he could have ignored the moving video. I think there was probably 1 or 2 in between. I think there was one that I saw where he was standing, in the paddock or on the road. And I thought, well, that was a bit nothingy, maybe.
Mark raises a great point. He says, YouTube is about growth. Why is the issue about a creator making a video that is a highly viral topic to get growth? I think he meant, what is the issue? Yeah, that's fair. But my only thing about this is that what would be the level, what would be the point that you'd stop that at? Because if you want to get growth, you can get growth in any number of ways on YouTube. You can like you could fake a breakup, or you could fake a pregnancy, or you could fake. There's so many different ways to get growth on YouTube. But what will you do to get that? Is what I'm saying. Now and I touched on this on my live stream, but this all worked out favorably for everybody. I mean, Lukey here is in the chat. He's cool with everything. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, yep, you can ride my wave, no worries. You can get all the subs that you can from it. You can get all the views from it, no worries. Rosie got moved to a better spot. Everything worked out well. But let's just put it the other way, where it may be, and I touched on this in our group chat today. Everything doesn't always have to be, oddly enough, the word rosy. Everything doesn't have to always be happy. This could have gone the other way, where, what about if Lukey had said, you know what? Fuck you, man. I made that video. What are you doing coming down here, jumping on? And then there could have been this war thing. And it could have been a completely different scenario where there could have been sanctions and elements of the Urbex community fighting against each other. It didn't work that way. But what I'm saying is, how far will someone go, or will a creator go, to get that growth?
Yeah, I think you'll find that Lukey is pretty annoyed. He's not overly happy with a lot of it, but
he seems to be pretty chilled about it.
He's pretty happy-go-lucky guy. I mean, he's your typical sort of Aussie bloke. he doesn't give two shits, but it hasn't.
Can I just cut in there? Just on Mark Ensby's next point, he said Creeky nailed it as a business. It's from a business model. Jay is smart for doing his video to grab the wave, and then he says same with Benon and me with Bust Life NZ. That's not actually exactly accurate, Mark, because Bust Life NZ came to me and made a comment on my video, not the other way around. Whereas this is why I'm saying this, because this already existed on someone else's channel, and then someone else came and jumped on it and rolled with it and ran with it. And I'm saying, where does that stop? Like, what level will you stop that at?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from the bloody shark, because we've got Creeky here to talk about his one of the biggest days of your career, wouldn't it be? Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a big day.
Sorry, before we do that, can I just say, last thing about Rosie, how much of that did influence your TEDx talk, Creeky?
0.
Good.
Really? Okay, so the moment of peak relevance wasn't relating to the shark.
No. Okay. No, this is research. This is research I've been working on since 2012.
Okay, cool.
So I remember I got down there to, it was about an hour before the talk, and someone said, "Oh man, you must be really pumped. A couple of months' work coming down to this next hour. The moment when you put it out." And I sort of thought, "Oh yeah, it sort of is." I said, "But it's not the last couple of months of work. It's actually since May 7th, 2012.
Wow.
7 years of research." And I felt on the day that I was actually putting it out to the public. I have spoken about it previously. Of course, people know that I've got a course where I help people, and that touches on it too. But, TEDx is such a big platform, and it really is a catalog or a library of the internet. So to be putting it out there where there's been so many great minds, and I don't think I even come close to standing on their shoulders, but just to be able to put it out there on that platform, I don't think I've seen the impact of it yet, because obviously the videos aren't released. We're still waiting for approval from the US, but it was a pretty significant day, that's for sure.
What I saw, mate, you did a really good job. 0 nerves, from what we could tell. You were just
they were there,
down, talking,
they were there,
dropping the dollary dues in there as the joke.
Oh, well, that's right. Now, awesome. I would have to be the first TEDx speaker to use the term dollary dues, and as you guys would know, that was an ode to Creator Cast and Danny and a few of the others.
That's a Mark Ensby word, more than
Mark Ensby, yeah.
But what you did by putting that in there, you gave that a very Australian. That's a definite Australian TEDx talk. Hey?
Yeah, there was something else that I did in there that was a little bit of a viral trend. Did you see it?
I'm
not going to spoil it. look, to get an idea about me, I love Easter eggs, like not just the chocolate ones, but the ones that are hidden in video games, the ones that are like, Alfred Hitchcock, spotting him. That's where it started for me as a kid.
Yeah.
Then Richard Scarey books and and Jeff Hook cartoons and all that sort of stuff. So I paid an ode to that in my TEDx. So hopefully they don't cut them out, but there are a few little Easter eggs hidden in there. A salute to internet culture, let's say. Right. So it was really cool. But no, the nerves were definitely there. It was a 5 poop emoji day. Let me tell you, it was serious, seriously sweating the bullets. I was, and it was when you go out there, and it's a bit different. I have done some keynote speaking before, but not a lot. I'd done 3 that month, so I was sort of in tune, but TEDx is different. There's no notes. You can't see your computer. You can't see your slides, and it's just 18 minutes of people who are really big thinkers. And, there was a lot of psychotherapists and neurologists and psychologists there, and here I am talking about neural pathways and triggers in the brain. I was just waiting for one of them to pull me up and go, well, that's not quite right. But, and I'd be stuck in the middle saying, someone just strangle that person. But no, it was really well received. And I sort of put it, probably the last biggest moment in my life was, apart from being married and having kids, of course, was getting on television as a TV reporter. I thought that was a pretty big deal, but I actually put this higher.
Wow. So would you say that was your aim? You always wanted to do that talk?
I've always wanted to be. Once I started this research, I always knew the best way to deliver it was from stage. But I struggled early on because a lot of brands and businesses weren't into viral content. They didn't believe it could be engineered. They just wanted to put their money into banner ads and SEO and Google ads and stuff like that. So, my battle's been going for like 5 years, and it was about 2 years ago that people started to say, you know what, I'm making content and it's not working, and I need someone who can help me make better content. And so that's where things started to move for me. And, and then like last year, video really started to boom, but this year they're taking action. So I think the timing couldn't be better for it, actually. I think I don't have to educate the market. The market's already smart enough now.
Yeah, that's it.
How did this talk come about, Creeky? Like, how did the logistics of it come together? Did someone approach you, or were you in a panel, or how did it all work?
No, I spoke at an event called Where Neurons Connect, which was held at the big amphitheater at the NAB at Docklands, just actually near where Jay is right now. And I spoke there, and that was all about the brain and firing the brain. And I did a talk there about the power of storytelling and the effect that has on memory. So just how story is very important when it comes to memory. And a friend of mine's a former Australian memory champion 4 times running. Jeez. And actually memorized 2 Yellow Pages phone books.
What?
Yeah, we should get him on, actually. Great guy.
If he's got time.
Yeah, no, he's got time, man. And he's fascinating. He can teach you stuff in minutes that you can use in your life forever. Like, never write a shopping list ever again. That sort of stuff. And so so I was doing that, and the people running TEDx saw me at that event and just approached me about a couple of months later and said, "Listen,
dude, that is so awesome, man! Congratulations."
How would you like to do this? And I was like, yeah, when and where. I'm there. Dang, bang.
What about from here on in? What other ventures have come? Well, it's pretty early. I mean, this is only a couple of weeks ago now. It was last week, wasn't it? So,
not even a week. So tomorrow it's a week.
Tomorrow will be a week. So what other things you got lined up, or anything that's come since then? Or
there's been lots of meetings and lots of calls and lots of sounding out. But I think until the video drops, it's just sort of a bit of a holding pattern.
Right.
But what it's done for me is really shored up what I want to do. And you always have that self-doubt. Not many people like getting on stage and public speaking, but I do. And then, yeah, Scotty, you'd be massive at it, mate.
No, mate, I'm already shit myself thinking. It actually makes me nervous thinking about it. Like
100 words and tap out.
Yeah, that's it. Get me out of there. Get me to the bar.
Start that actually. 100-word talks. That'd be great.
Someone told me before you did that talk that I didn't know this, but as you mentioned earlier, TEDx, you're not allowed to have cue cards or anything. And I was like, wow, dude, that makes that even more difficult to just get up and present and not have any. I mean, you got your display behind you. I guess it's kind of like a visual cue, but that's not going to help you if you forget the words.
Yeah, and they restrict how many slides. So, and what was really tricky for me is a number of those slides that I used in the TEDx, I actually use in my other talks. Now, usually a keynote, a normal keynote is 45 minutes or an hour. That's what we train for. And the difference between 45 minutes and an hour is a couple of stories that you drop in and out at certain points. So if someone says an hour, you basically get the 45-minute talk with a couple of extra stories, and you just know you have to tell those stories, which are already in your head. So you know that you can pad them out. So what was throwing me a little bit leading into the TEDx was the fact that some of those slides were out of my old talk, but I wasn't using the same words that relate to that slide. So I was tripping myself up, and it was quite frustrating. And even at the rehearsal the day before, I didn't get a clean run. And yeah, I went home sweating bullets a bit, and set myself up in my front room with my computer, and I think I rehearsed it maybe 7 or 8 times. So it's 18 minutes each time. So calculate how long that was, a couple of hours. Yeah. Until my mother-in-law, actually, she dropped by to drop one of the kids off after school, and just looked at me and said, "You just need to stop practicing."
Yeah.
It's there. You're confusing yourself on.
Yep. You don't want to overthink it, eh?
Yeah. And so I took 4 hours off. I said, okay, I'm not doing anything. 4 hours. And then I went back and just flicked through the slides and went, that story, that story, that story, that story. And I wrote, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I've got it here. I actually wrote the structure of it on the back of an envelope.
Nice.
And that's all I did. And then the next day I didn't practice it at all. Didn't touch it. Where can I find it? Let me see if there's anything, no bank account details on here. That's all I wrote. I wrote it down in scribbly, like that's the worst handwriting you've ever seen. I wrote it into 6 steps.
Yeah.
Wow. 6 steps, 3 minutes a step.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that something that you do, like just to have it sort of cemented in your head, just little like dot points, I guess, of where you're going to jump off to?
Yeah, well, I'm obviously going to make a video about it, and the video is going to be about how I prepared, but I'm more than happy to share it now. Is the way that I prepare for keynotes is that I write it out word for word to start with, and I do that about 2 weeks before.
Okay.
And I make sure that I read it at least once a day, if not twice.
Hey, thanks, Barry. See you, buddy.
See you, Barry. Thanks for dropping in. And then what I do is I start breaking it down into smaller chunks, and just working on what's the link from that bit to that bit to that bit to that bit. And so I just basically get less and less and less as I go. So in the end, it's just dot points, 5 dot points that you can remember. Because you can't ever remember anything word for word. You can never deliver it word for word.
No.
Did you feel like you nailed it after you were done? Were you happy with it?
Yeah, the only mistake that I know that I made, and I'm sure when I watch it back I'll find some, the only one that I'm aware of is I flicked a slide too early.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
But
and you recovered from it pretty quick.
Yeah, I just didn't even let it bother me. I just went boop, straight back.
Yeah. That got me thinking that maybe they should have a projector or a screen at the back of the room that you can see, instead of having to turn around and see that you're on the right one. Like you could see the same thing mirrored at the other end of the room. That would be a better option.
Normally what they do is they have a screen at the front of the stage at your feet, and you can just walk backwards and forwards and just catch it in your eyes, but they didn't have it.
What was that? There was something. There was a little thing on the floor there in the front. What was that? Was that?
That was an iPad with a timer.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So you could see your time counting down. So yeah, a couple hundred people sitting there, and yeah, it was awesome to see those big red letters and having a chance. So yeah, I must admit I wanted to go there at the start to watch everyone talk. and enjoy the whole day and take it in. And then I chickened out on the morning. I said, "Nah, I'm not going to get there too early. Don't want to hang around. Don't want to see anyone else. Don't want to get influenced by anyone. Just focus on yourself, and then and then deliver it. And then after that, I could relax." So.
I was going to say, did you have any sneaky drinks? But you're a non-drinker, so maybe you had a chamomile tea beforehand to calm the nerves. Or...
I bought 2 cans of Pepsi Max, one for before and one for after.
What a reward!
Yeah.
Well,
Barry's views before he left, he wanted to ask you, was it squeaky bum time?
What's squeaky?
You've been nervous farting.
Yeah, nervous farts.
No, it was
Xander Round says, "Great story, massive congrats." Yeah, dude, like it's a huge story, and it's amazing to have known you for it's a short time that I've known you, and same with Scotty. I think you guys met at the same time at what?
No, I met Scotty at Creator Cast-a-thon.
Yeah, I met you in person. Then we'd spoken on here. That's when I became aware of you. But I don't know. Well, was that 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer.
Yeah, probably 9.
You were both at the expo.
Yeah, I didn't see him there.
Okay.
Were you at the Tech Expo, Scotty?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
What was it called again?
TEDx?
Gadget and Technology Expo.
I don't know, something.
The Gadget and Technology and Gadget Expo. And you know what's funny, Ben? I got a comment on my video of that today, out of nowhere.
That's bizarre. How did you find it?
I got a notification. And I'm like, this guy's talking to me about Einstein. And I'm like, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. And I had to go back and watch the video because I opened it up saying with an Einstein quote. And
classic.
He was giving it to me.
You mentioned, not in the TEDx talk, but you mentioned somewhere, I think, on maybe Facebook, that you might be back on YouTube again. That
was on your live stream? I left that comment.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you are coming back to YouTube?
You're
going to be putting content? Oh, great.
Coming back.
What about that interview that you and I did like 6 months ago? Is that going to see light of day?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
I didn't perform good enough. You were great. I was terrible.
Maybe you could edit it where you just have like a robot read out questions that weren't anything relevant to my answers. That'd be pretty funny.
I'll get a Ned Flanders voice. It was a good chat. Like, I really enjoyed it, but I just, no. It just didn't. It's just not, I don't know. I know it's one of those funny ones. It just didn't.
Yeah, but I've thought that with videos as well. As me and Ben were saying before, is videos I've made where I'm like, this is crap. This is the worst video I've made. And then you wake up and there's 700 views there and you're like, what the, how? Yeah. Like Creeky, one of your videos, you said this is my worst video I've ever made, one of them, and I really loved that video.
Yeah, no, people loved it.
Yeah,
it's funny, you know. You got and you got to get your ego out of the way, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Milky Bar Kid says, "Did you see Rodney Mullen's TED talk? Are you talking about the Mullen that I think you're talking about? Did he do a TEDx talk? That guy can't really.
Rodney Mullins.
He can't really put together a sentence, man. Like, yeah." If you're talking about the freestyle skateboarder, I will certainly go and have a look at that. Yeah, that'd be very intriguing. He had a really, really interesting childhood. But that's not who we're discussing this evening. We're discussing Jonathan Creek.
Now, Scotty, I've got a question to ask you. Well, how come there was no night vision of the wombat attack?
All right, so
did you sleep through it?
So what had happened is I filmed. I'd seen it and then I'd filmed. So what had happened is, as I said to Ben I'd filmed like 40 minutes worth of footage and I edited it down to 15. I'd gone out that night and we'd just gone wombat spotting. So we probably saw about 10 wombats just around camp. And then when I came back, the hole was in the tent and the wombat was in the tent.
And so film it?
No, because I didn't have the GoPro on me. Because what I was doing, because we were in the tent at night time, I was locking up all my stuff in the car. I was putting the GoPro in the car and I was putting all that stuff in there. And then after that, we had a huge storm, so I didn't want to leave the GoPro anywhere near because I'm using the microphone. It's not waterproof. I was like, I don't want to leave it out. So yeah, shit filmmaking on my behalf. I'm better than that. But
we could have had Rosie the wombat.
Yeah. I did come up with a name for the wombat because he kept coming through camp. What was the wombat's name again? Oh, Stinky Pete, because he stunk.
Stinky Pete.
He was a big bastard of a wombat. Brittany's still not happy that I put her bed next to the wombat hole. But what can you do?
Yeah, first in, first served, I reckon.
Yeah, that's it. I did a good tape job.
I've got a question, and it's related to Disney, Benon, and I reckon this might be up your alley a little bit.
Okay.
Do you remember in Disney, there's the character Pete?
No, I don't actually. When you say Disney, are you referring to a particular?
Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Okay. I don't recall.
Yeah, he had the side characters. You had Clarabelle the cow, and a few of the others, and you had Pete. He used to be known as Bad Pete when we were kids.
Okay.
And they've removed the bad.
Oh,
he's no longer Bad Pete.
Wow.
Sorry for the breaking news. I know everyone. That's him. Yeah.
I remember that dude. Yeah.
He used to be called Bad Pete, not Bad Pete.
So they've taken away the bad. So that's another portraying a happy thing when it's not always happy. He can be bad. I mean, he doesn't have to always be good. I don't know.
For those who don't know, we're on a campaign to turn Benon's frown upside down.
See, that's the thing.
He hates it.
I've sort of been lumped into this, not lumped, but I've sort of slid into this
grumpy curmudgeon role of the group.
And I'll acknowledge that a lot of it's my own doing. Like the stuff that went down end of last year or beginning of this year was on my back. I caused all that, and I've moved past it and got along.
Oh no. See, I don't see that as it. I don't see that as having an influence. I think that's private and that's all done. We don't need to talk about that. I think it's just I don't know what it is. You've turned into this. Everything annoys you, and I don't want the world to annoy you. I want you to be happy.
Okay. Well, that's what I was going to say. Like the thing is, not everything is positive in life. There's lots of negativity in life. There's lots of things that make you upset, just like there's lots of positivity and there's lots of things that make you happy. I'm in. I don't want to sound like Billy Corgan, but I'm embracing the sadness as much as the happiness. You know, like there's plenty of times I reflect on negative, and there's plenty of times I reflect on positive. But if you like, it's a shame that well, actually no, Scotty, you're here. Jay told me there's a group that I'm not invited to called Positive Vibes, and I'm not allowed to be in it because I'm Negative Vibes. I think he told me, he said we made this group without you because
there was a group. Yeah, there was a group. Oh man, after all that shit that went down, which no one really knows about, do they? But
we're opening a can of worms.
Yeah. But it lasted about a week, I think, and then it was just the creator cast group that you weren't in. That was about it.
Yeah.
And
508 thinks that you're a disgruntled goat. Hopefully,
goat.
That means greatest of all time.
Okay.
I love a good moan, though. I love a good bitch. I reckon it's good for you.
That's the other thing too. As far as content on YouTube, the negative stuff is generally the stuff that gets the views.
That's it. Yeah,
I
was going to say that. So
yeah, no, sorry, go Scott.
I was going to say that if you're thinking, I mean, you're going to make videos that are going to get the views, obviously, as we're saying. So if you're going to moan about something or have a bit of a bitch about it, obviously that's going to get people's attention. They're going to see that. Whereas if you walked outside and told everyone how good the flowers were or whatever, it's probably, you're going to focus more. You're going to focus more on the negative.
You didn't like my photo post in Messenger today? There's beautiful flowers in my backyard.
It did confuse me a bit, but
wow, not hard to do, they say, Scotty.
No, not with me, mate. No way.
Creeky put up a picture, just a couple of flowers, and said, "Doesn't this make you want to smile or something?" And I put up my straight reply was a comment from someone on my channel, which was just completely absurd. And I went, "Doesn't this just make you want to frown or something?" Like that? I don't know, like I remember when, and I did talk about this on my channel and the shit that went down at the end of last year or whatever. And I remember saying to Danny months earlier, when this was just kind of starting to kick into gear of whatever this was going to be, this negative vibe thing that I gave birth to, I was saying to to Danny, should we include this in Creator Cast and make it bigger than what it is? Like, should we make this this fake beef, if you like, or just get this beef brewing for views on CreatorCast. It'll get us past 1,000 subscribers and we'll be able to monetize before next CreatorCon. And there was definitely this, in the back of my mind, there was this thought that if we could somehow benefit from some negativity, then it would benefit in a positive way, oddly enough. But then Danny and I decided against it. And then what happened was me just taking it on my own and running with a bunch of negative crap. But it's got me to this point where I'm thinking maybe on my own channel, there may be space to do a weekly live stream just focusing on the negative of things. Yeah. What do you think about that, Creeky? Can I pitch that idea to you? Can you help me make it go viral?
Well, you know, I don't mind the idea of reading negative comments. I actually would love to read your negative comments.
Not reading negative comments, like actually, like I thought of something like the let it, I was going to call it the let it out farm, where you can come on and you go, I'm letting out this, and this, and it's kind of like Mark Ensby's What's Not Right, but it's actually name calling and shaming, and you did this and they did that, and I feel better by telling you this, and that's going to make me feel better, and that should make you feel better. Yeah, just an idea. It's like a one-off, once a week, and then once it's done, you move on to the other stuff.
I'll try it.
Sounds like therapy, to be honest.
Could be argued as therapy. The Let It Out Therapy Farm. Maybe that could be the name of it.
We'll just go ham on each other.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, I mean, Fight Club, I suppose. If you look at that film, it's like, you know, people.
But we're not allowed to talk about Fight Club, though. This is the
opposite. What are you talking about?
Only at the Fight Club, only during the fights. But
True.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Chandy says if you're going to too negative, just think two negatives make a positive. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't
know. You like what?
I like that idea. I'm like, Brittany always says you're a negative person, but I feel like I need the negativity to keep me like at that level-headed position. Like like I say, every video I upload is my worst one. I'm like, this is a piece of shit. This is the worst video I've ever seen. Like it keeps me calm, level-headed. I think it is. I'm a good moaner. I think it's just my Irish blood. It's the adrenaline that I get from it. I'm down for it.
What about Creeky on the so in your days on television, I could argue that most of those news reports were negative. There wasn't really a positive story to be told aside from, you know, disabled kid walks again or something like that. But most of the stuff that you would like chase used car salesmen or dodgy mechanics up the road, you wouldn't say that they were positive stories, but they sold. So you made your career based on that. Can you?
No, there was always a golden rule. Always a golden rule, and that's leave them happy. So you start bad, you start sad, but always leave them happy.
Okay.
It's a golden rule of news and reporting and storytelling. That's why with news bulletins, and you've got to look at it as a fully encapsulated thing with 3 ad breaks. Just before every ad break, they'll leave you happy because you'll hang around for the rest. If they leave you sad, people just shut off. They go, I don't want to be in the world. If you actually looked at the news and believed that that's what the world was really like every night, you wouldn't go outside.
Interesting.
So yeah, you've got to leave them happy. So yeah, you can complain. You can, on your live streams, you can rant, you can do whatever, but you got to have something at the end that leaves them happy.
Right.
Because you don't want to leave them with that sick, sad, shocked feeling.
Huh. Okay.
So that's what you got to do, people.
So if I was to take this on and start this, you're saying you could vent and let off some steam as long as there's somehow a positive twist at the end of it.
Exactly. I mean, you know, as you said, I'd chase bad builders and con men and whatever, but at the end of the day, we would always do something to help the people who were distressed and caught out.
Give us an example.
Oh, well, whenever you've got, you know, the endless typical story of the single mum with kids who gets a love rat who comes and takes all their money, and then all of a sudden she's broke and she's going to lose her house. Well, we go and chase the love rat and catch him, and then, you know, we raise money for her to pay her rent for a year.
Okay, cool. On that note,
is that fair enough?
Yeah, no, that's a good example.
You can picture that sort of story in your head. I mean, they happen a lot.
I mean, I actually don't have anything specific in my mind that, like, if I said I'm going to start the Let It Out Therapy Farm next Thursday at 10 p.m., I don't actually have anything on mind right now that I want to be negative about. But what it would do, and the way I see it working, would be that it would allow other people to come on and to have that platform to say, I think this is completely bullshit and this is the reason why, and do you want to help me talk it through? It might not necessarily be me, but I could have used it at the end. See, this is how it was born in my mind. I could have used
Gina Walters has just joined, by the way, so welcome, Gina.
Gina's in the chat. Oh, in the chat. G'day, Gina. I could have used the Let It Out Therapy Farm at the end of last year and possibly have avoided my Pusha Studios debacle when Jay was streaming. That's what I'm saying. Like, to counteract and to continue to keep things level, you have to let off some steam. I'm an emotional guy. I'm allowed to let off some steam, you know?
I feel you.
That's where it's kind of born from. Like, if you bottle up emotions, whether they be positive or negative, eventually something's going to give.
I think so, but I think there's different levels too. So, I think we can take from tonight that you've got a little bit of a beef with how Jay did the Rosie sequence.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's clear, right?
I wouldn't say
that. But see, for someone to me, like, I can see your point. I can see, oh yeah, that Benon's calling Jay out for that. Oh, I can see your point. But that sort of stuff, I don't let that stuff bother me. That's not my life. That's not my doing.
Mm.
So I think everyone's different, and that's what makes the world great. You and I have said that before, Benon. It's awesome to have different people with different opinions. But
yeah,
I don't know. If I'm going to get emotional and rant at someone, I don't know whether it's my training or my background or whatever. I don't usually do it on video on social media. Get me on a sports field, it's probably a little bit different.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm a little niggler out there. Don't worry about that. I'm a pest.
I've got Tourette's when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't say I've got beef with what Jay did. I just feel like maybe that it opens up a question, and the question I don't think it's wrong for me to ask that question. I think we're entitled to ask the questions I've asked tonight and to find out a little more about motive.
I think it comes down to intent.
Exactly.
And then everyone's got the right to have their own response to it.
Yes.
You can accept
that's
these.
how we open this conversation.
Yeah. And sorry, I missed that. But yeah, so you can sit there and go, in my set of values, that doesn't sit well. Other people might go, oh, well, won't be the first time, wasn't the first time, won't be the last. And that's YouTube. I mean, I think, Scotty, you even said, it's sort of, that's YouTube, really. It's, it becomes a free-for-all.
That's it.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Like, yeah. And I'm never going to be one that doesn't speak up or that doesn't voice that opinion. And if we're going to have a platform such as CreatorCast, where there's dudes that come on and we talk and we navigate this YouTube world, if I wasn't going to say something about it, then I would be forever holding something in which needs to come out. So, yeah.
It's all healthy. I don't know. It's all healthy stuff.
We're all grown adults. We're not going to go in a corner and rock about it. I think it's good.
I hope not.
So anyway, let's talk about Adpocalypse 2. Is it real?
You mean 3?
I was going to say, is it up to 3 or 4?
The third one, yeah.
Wow.
You've been off YouTube for that long, you missed the second one.
Yeah, I missed the second one. Oh, well, I'm not monetized anyway, so it sort of scoots over me. And was it caused by that one guy that
looks
that
like
Drama Alert's taken alert? Talk about public enemy number 1 in YouTube circles.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it's interesting that Philly D didn't really dig in any deeper than what he did, because he kind of broke the story, but then Drama Alert sort of said, oh, well, actually, this is the truth about that guy who made that video, and then you never heard any more from Philly D about it.
it's a bit harsh when it's a bit rich when you're calling. So for those who don't know, the latest adpocalypse has been caused by some smaller creator who says that pedophile rings are congregating on videos that involve kids, but not kids doing anything illegal, like just family vlogs of kids doing gymnastics and stuff, and then they're making prude and rude comments and sharing stuff in the comments. And I think they're even sharing links to private collections of videos in the comments, which is not great at all. That's, I think, where the line gets crossed. And so this guy's highlighted that this is going on. He's complained that YouTube's not doing enough about it. But then when they go back and look at his catalog of his own videos, there's videos of him cold proposing schoolgirls from his car on whether they want to go home and make an adult film with him or different things like that. So he's actually a predator in himself. In what he was doing. And so the issue is that he's caused a lot of brands like Disney, I think Coca-Cola, I may be wrong, but a few other big brands, AT&T, have now all pulled their money from YouTube, which of course affects everyone, I suppose, because it filters down where the ads get placed. So there's this battle going on whether this guy, given his past, is a hero or a villain in this scenario. The one thing that is for sure is that the spotlight's well and truly on him, and we're yet to see what the outcome will be. How does YouTube fix this sort of problem if people are sharing links in comments?
Gee, that's
Gentlemen.
a pretty negative scenario, I've got to say there, Creeky. Nothing happy about that.
No, we're turning it
Pedophilia
positive.
And child
we're
pornography,
turning it.
all
We're
the
going to
negatives.
give YouTube the answer that they need. How do they fix it?
I'll tell you how they don't fix it. They don't fix it by disabling comments and then demonetizing a video based on user comments. That is absolutely outrageous.
Well, could you imagine the warfare that goes on? Like, if you and I have a beef, Ben, on, I could go in and start making ridiculous comments.
Yeah, but why should what you do on my channel cause me to
that's right. And then you'll lose your channel. I mean, the warfare would be ridiculous.
It's wrong. It's broken. It should be on the person making the comment, not the person receiving the comment.
I think one way they could probably stop it is not allow links in comments.
You can set that up individual on your own channel, not to allow.
No, but YouTube should do a blanket until they get a hold of this. Because if they're sending people to other sites where there is inappropriate content, then they should just ban links. I mean, what's the advantage of links? You can set up your own shop on YouTube now. You can do all that stuff within the platform, so you don't need links in comments.
You kind of.
Why would you use a link in the comments?
To link to another video? If someone's asking
you could put that
something specific.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could
put
be
annotation.
Description, anything.
Yeah. I've had to link out when someone says, for instance, they've asked directly, where can I get the camera mount that you use or the microphone stand? And I just go, here it is, and the link. Bam.
Yeah, but if we're to be saving young kids from being exploited by undesirables, would there be another way that you could do that? You could just say, Google this.
That's what the engineers at YouTube are going to have to figure out then, aren't they?
They've got a big job.
Big job.
A lot of videos to work on.
I tell you what's quite annoying is since Logan Paul's whole dead body thing, I didn't even realize this, but I made a video about 4 weeks ago now, probably at a cemetery, an abandoned cemetery, and it got demonetized straight away.
Wow.
just for putting in the title, probably cemetery, suburban cemetery, anything like that. And what is annoying is I have a list of about 15 to 20 cemeteries around Victoria I want to go to because they either have someone buried there that's famous or it's empty. It's abandoned. And now it's like, do I want to do it?
I got to give YouTube props, though. Of late, whenever a video gets demonetized before it's gone live, because I set mine to go live at a particular time every night, and there's a 2-day buffer thanks to Logan Paul, but whenever that happens that it's demonetized, if I request a manual review, almost within the hour it gets changed around.
Yeah.
So they have got onto that. I'm going to give them.
I manual reviewed mine, and I still haven't seen anything with it. So, yeah.
But was that a video that existed already on your channel, or
no? Straight away uploaded. As soon as I uploaded, it was demonetized, and I just went into the whatever you do, hit it to challenge it, and generally it has. It'll be very quick, even before the Logan Paul stuff.
Yep.
But this one, for some reason, not that I care. It's got like 600 views. It doesn't matter. But it's like, it's just like, come on, I'm not doing anything wrong here.
Milky Bar Kid says, oh, sorry, go Creeky.
I was saying, Ben, are you saying you're uploading yours and then scheduling them to go live?
Yes.
And they're reviewing them before they go live for you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. What great service.
Yeah, and it never used to be that way though. And after Logan Paul did his thing, it took about there was a period of about 10 months when even if I had a 2-day turnaround for it to go live and it was demonetized, it would still go live unmonetized, and then a couple of days later they'd fix it. But now they've got back onto it.
Straight on it.
Yeah.
I guess they got that technology right there.
Well, they have. They've done something right there. Milky Bar Kid says the one thing they could do is to ban keywords when live streaming. Yeah, and okay,
you can.
The word
you can ban.
You can. You certainly can.
Yeah.
Also, Milky Bar, I did see a comment earlier that it was the Rodney Mullen. I thought it was, so I'll definitely check that out. Cool.
Really? That's interesting.
So Gina saying that she made the video photos of my life and it was demonetized. She asked for a review and they stood by the decision. I wonder if that's because she had photos of herself as a baby, and I reckon you were only wearing a nappy. Now that'd be ridiculous if that's what they're.
Yeah, that's pretty poor.
That
Gina.
was the thumbnail, I think, wasn't it, Gina? Let us know in the chat, because that would be it'd be bizarre. I mean, how sensitive are they going to get? Yeah. Where do they set the standard? That's the point, and because people are. Oh, it was. Yeah, there you go. So
that was a touching video too, Gina. I really enjoyed watching that. Essentially, it was a draw my life, but it was in photos.
Make Test Battle just left a good comment saying he wanted to call one of his videos Nerf Shotgun, but was worried about using the word shotgun or Nerf War. That's very interesting.
Yeah, well, they actually Creator Insider addressed the Nerf situation specifically on a video. They said we understand that anything to do with Nerf guns is now monetizable. We realized that we'd messed that up and they've fixed it. So you might want to check not the latest episode. I think it's 3 episodes ago on Creator Insider, Make Test Battle. Yeah.
Walker wants to know if you'd recommend your chair, Ben, on.
I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't recommend this
Really?
chair. Yeah, it's got a weird lumbar support. And it's not a comfortable one. I can feel the bar in there. If I sit right into it, I can feel that bar right in my back.
You'd hate a bar in your back.
Don't like a bar in my back. And by the way, whoever banned that John Nah guy or John Nee guy.
Yeah, that was Floyd.
Nice work. Thanks, Floyd. Yeah.
That was a weird one.
He just kept
I didn't
commenting.
see what he was saying.
He was banging on about everything other than what we were talking about.
Exactly.
Come on,
Nothing
John. Lift your game.
About it. He's gone now.
Yeah, nice work. That's the Blue Wrench group.
That's
hard.
it.
Good on the Blue.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap it up anyway because it's past my bedtime now.
Yeah. Well, how about Scotty? If you want to scoot, how about Creeky? You and I will take this through till 10:30.
Yeah.
Only another 8 minutes.
Let's take this through to 10:30.
Make it all even. I like it even.
Done. That was good talking, fellas.
It's so good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, you too. I won't be on next week. I've got the day off next Wednesday to go film something pretty mega, and I can't wait. So I'm going to go out, film that, and then edit it and have it up for Wednesday night. So
okay, very cool.
I won't be on.
The truth of the matter is, Scotty went to 200 words this week, and he can't. He just has to stop next week.
I've got a sore throat, mate. All right, fellas. It's good seeing you, Creeky.
See you, mate. Thank you.
See you guys. Nice one. Maybe he. Together, but
I lost track of that. I apologize for my tardiness.
Okay, that's cool. At least then when it comes out on your channel, it'll have a lot more bang. Hey, what's
someone's saying stream down. Adelaide Crows, stream down.
It looks
back again. It's back.
I'm looking
Must
at
have
it
been just
there,
when
yeah.
Scotty jumped.
Yeah, that's strange. Ben, if you can, could you link us the creator inside a video? I think he means me, Ben on, or is Ben Wilson in the house?
No, it's you.
Yeah,
You're the only bit.
So
when Scotty jumped off, that was interesting. It paused. The stream paused when Scotty jumped off, and then regathered itself.
Yeah, strange. Hey.
Yeah, it seems to go down. Every time someone drops out.
Ben on's just broken his switch box. Tim means my stream deck. No, I'm not actually. I don't use the stream deck when we stream on Creator.
Elgato, and you're terrible customer service,
dude. You've seen the video. They came to the party and fixed
No,
it.
I haven't seen the one that they came back. They came back.
Yeah. They said, look, we don't want you to be without a stream deck, so we'll do the other thing. I'm not going to say the right thing because they don't have to do this, but they said we'll send you out one, and I've now got 2 here right now.
You are single-handedly raising the levels of customer service.
That's positivity,
the Ben on factor. See, something negative led to something positive, and look how much better you feel.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You're glowing.
Get a little bit of negativity and you get the positivity, and then everything just smooths itself out. But make test battle, I'll put that in the chat just as we finish here, or when I finish, because I'm busy with the stream. But I'll have to find out which one it was. But they definitely talked about Nerf guns being monetizable.
Ninja stole my Delgado.
But the Elgato brought out a new product called the Key Light, which looks really, really good. It's a light that's controllable by the Stream Deck, and it's a big LED panel, nice soft light.
Oh, I've seen this. PewDiePie reviewed this.
Did he already? Okay. They got announced.
He did a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it
about that big.
Yeah, it's like a rectangle thing, right?
Yeah.
He's got 2 of them, and they look really light and portable.
Yeah,
I need a light. Obviously, I've got this. I've got this little box here.
That should have been good.
It's just a bit too harsh where it is. I need it on a tripod, maybe up here.
Look at that.
It
needs to be like that.
See that? But I just turn it down a little bit. There they go. Look at that.
You mean you've been in darkness this whole stream and you've had a light there as well?
The light's been on here, but it's been catching in my glasses. So I need to get a tripod to sit on top of my computer. But see, I got my DSLR just here, but I couldn't get the picture through it. And I think it's because I'm using a mini. We're getting into the tech minutes, the last 3 tech minutes. I'm using an Ultra Studio mini recorder. Seen these things from Blackmagic?
From Blackmagic, yep.
And I think what it is you don't get a picture unless you get the frame rates right. And so when you go to select your camera in Google Hangouts, it gives you a menu of about 100 different options, and I'd have to take my camera off the tripod and go through all the menus to work out what frame rate I've got it set at the moment.
Interesting. Walker 2508, did Baxter enjoy putting out his first live stream? He really did. He really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to giving him that channel in November. At the moment, I'm stoked that his mother has said, look, you can put up content as long as Uncle Benny vets everything first. And the live stream will be whenever he's down here, he's going to just sit in and we'll do a live stream. It's just pretty cool. Yeah.
I think Baxter has to read the negative comments. I think that's your channel right there. Get him to read all the negative comments. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, could do that.
Yeah, I'm going to stand here like this.
I had to tell him off or put the hard word on him and say no more subscribe to Pockmorn comments, because he was going to town with that. Subscribe to Pockmorn. It's like, dude, if you're going to start doing that and you haven't even got your channel started yet, you're already going the wrong way. Thanks, Woz. He's a rad kid. Hey, he's got a lot of future.
No, he's not. He's a little pest.
He's a little pest.
He's a little spammer in the comments.
Yeah, he is. Gina says, back up in the chat. Yeah, we did lose it for 30 seconds. But I think this has been a good chat. And if you are good work, mate, test battle, you found it cool. If you are jumping in late, like
see, Gina's scared of you, Ben on. See?
Don't want to get told off by Ben on. Nah, Gina.
You are like one of those old men in the Muppets. You're on the balcony and you rah rah rah.
See, I could argue that that's a negative comment. Like I don't cast that kind of a comment at anybody else. But I could say that's
All right.
that's a bit of a cheeky jab right there, huh?
Yeah, I'm jabbing you 100%.
But for what motive? For what gain?
Drama. No. I'm just trying to make you happy. Trying to
Yeah,
make you happy.
See, I think that kind of
Oh, now he's going to overthink it. Don't overthink
but
it.
that kind of a jab only makes you happy. It doesn't make the person receiving it happy. It might make a giggle in the audience, but mainly it's for your happiness. So you could sort of say,
no. I think it's your role in the group is that you are our father figure.
how?
See, cheeky chat with Creeky. See, that's what Gina says.
Cheeky chat with Creeky. I don't know. Like I'm happy to
Don't
be
take that to heart. Because those guys, you watch the Muppets, right?
I watched it when I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah, so they go, oh, that was terrible. That was awful. That was no good. Oh, that was all right. Oh, yeah, that was okay. Oh, that was wonderful. That was awesome. So they go around in this circle.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, but you do. You go, this is annoying me, but now this is the greatest thing ever.
But
This is good.
I feel like I get given, well, not given, I get made into this, not necessarily a character that I am. And I like that's why I said in that private group chat, I'm going to leave this chat because I'm not all happy. It's not all rosy, and it's nothing's all positivity. And if that's all that this chat is, I don't want to be involved in it because it's fake. And that was no small creator, to be completely honest. That's why I left that place, because it was just all fake, false positivity. For what motive? I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know if it was fake positive. I think No School More Creator was a great community when it started. It was powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think there has to be some humor in life.
Do you know what's interesting about not No Small Creator, but the Cody Wanna Rise?
That's it. Gina Walters has hit it right on the nail on the head, Ben. You're honest about how you feel.
Yes.
And that is a wonderful place to be.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I'm not backpedaling here. Like, I'm always going to be cheeky, and I'm always going to throw out little things for a reaction. Don't worry about that. And I'm not trying to bully you. I'm not.
You disguise it. Like you go under a little bit, and then let out a little flinting jab, and then come back up to the level of happiness or this positive place. But you did go down to this little negative spiral, and then you went back up. And I've seen it before from other people in the Creator Cast crew, and I don't know why it gets jabbed at me, because I'll say when something's wrong. I'm not going to disguise it. I'll call it, but I get given a slight hand of it on the other side of it. Like even in the chat earlier when Jay was on, he kept sort of slyly bringing me, saying, "Well, you do this with your snorkel mask." It's like, well, I'm not disguising anything with what I do, but to bring it back into full circle, yeah.
I don't see that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why.
Well, if that's your feelings, I can't change them. But
it's a group. It's a feeling that's come from this group. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not something that I've given myself. It's the vibe that comes from a collective of people.
Well, I don't notice it. I don't think there's any. You're feeling as though you're being. I mean, we're getting deep here on this, and we can take it offline if you like. But I don't notice anyone singling anyone else out.
Okay.
Is that what you feel? Because if you feel, let's have it out there.
It's been resolved, but what I'm saying is that it did come to a point at the end of last year or the beginning of this year. I can't remember when it was exactly, but whenever I let off my steam in that Pusha Studios live feed when Jay was on, that was
well, I'll be honest, I didn't like what you did there.
Yeah,
and I told you. I went straight to you and told you that.
Yeah, I completely acknowledged that, and I was in the wrong, and I made the amends from it. But what I'm saying is that to get me to that point where one thing about one person just really got under my skin for some time, it wasn't just that one thing or that one person. It was a build up of other other things that came down to push me that way. And yeah, that's
so you bottled it up, and then
more or less, yeah.
the Pusa stuff was just like the straw that broke the camel's back for you. And you feel as though since that you haven't fitted back in the way that you were, that it's changed the dynamic somehow.
There's definitely that. There's definitely a fit that's not fitting. There's this other element where, and we've already touched on it, but where you guys all have this positive fake, what I think is bullshit, and then I don't have that, so I'm not allowed in. Like I said, there was a group called Positive Vibes that I wasn't allowed to be involved in. Jay told me that
I wasn't in it either.
But the fact that existed to me amongst friends, it's like, we're going to make a positive group chat and we're not going to invite Ben on because he's not positive, and then to tell me about it, like that's pretty shit. I'm gonna say it. It's pretty shit.
Absolutely. If that's happened, I don't know about it. I definitely wasn't in it. But I presume there's probably, the way the internet is now, there's hundreds of chats between hundreds of different people. And,
yeah, but when it's the creator crew, when it's Danny, Jay,
your brotherhood,
Scotty, and then I'm not involved in it, and then like I just see it.
But that was right at the time of Pusa, was it?
Well, it was after that, but
yeah. I think if you look back at the situation, maybe there was a slight crisis moment, and they needed somewhere where they could all talk collectively about what they were going to do. Because I think that was at a similar time when you guys were really questioning whether Creator Cast was going to come back.
Well,
so I think you got to look at it and say there was a lot of things at play.
But hold up a sec, because what you're not, and you're not privy to this, and nobody else really is either, but
no.
The reason we weren't coming back wasn't because we decided we might not come back. The reason we weren't going to come back was because of my beef with Jay. And that's the fact. Like I had a problem with what he had done in the past, and I hadn't been able to get past that, and I hadn't been able to work through that. Yeah. And it wasn't until you and Mark Ensby and Danny said the same thing to me in the space of about 12-hour period. I got the same kind of message from the 3 different people saying this is this and this and this, and I was like, you know what, they're dead right. Just basically I had to just say, let him be who he is, and don't let that affect you. And that's how I decided to come back and say, well, Creator Cast can come back. Just let Jay do what Jay does. He'll do it. And for fuck's sake, he's done what Jay does.
And that's
I
think I think you agree that your barometer was off a little bit at that moment, and maybe there was things that led to that, which is fine. I think what you've also got to see now is, on the back of that, maybe other people's barometers are a bit more sensitive.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to say without really saying what it was, I'm not going to say what it was, but there was a particular thing that Jay did that irritated me, and that caused me some concern, some upset, and until I could position that and place that in me and to work out why that really hurt me and why that affected me that bad, all I saw from him was crap, basically. But then when I realized that, you know what, let him do it. Danny said, "Why do you even care, man? Like just let him do his thing. Like, doesn't make a difference to you. Let him." And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we can still have Creator Cast. We can still have this discussion and these group chats. I don't have to let what he does affect me that much. And that's when I was like, time to apologize to Jay for that, because it was out of line. It was me giving him crap when he didn't even know really why I was giving him the crap. So I explained myself and went on from there. And as you said correctly, there has been a change in the dynamics, and yeah, there's just been less. There's been less camaraderie than there ever has been, I feel. And I feel like maybe I created that by having my spit, but it is what it is.
Oh, I don't know. I've felt in the last maybe 6 weeks I haven't interacted with the guys as much. Now you're in the core four, I'm not, and it wasn't until I caught up with Danny on the weekend that I was like, okay, within 3 days I reckon I caught up with Jay and Danny, and that's the first time I've ever caught up with either of them by themselves, and it was just a matter of circumstance. Prior to that, I just think, I was just busy. I was just waiting to get to TEDx, essentially, to be honest. And I think other people have been busy too. So I don't know. I think this just takes waves where I think you guys put a lot of work into this and you have to acknowledge that. And I think everyone, some people might have put in more work than others, and that's recognized as well. And, I think there was a lot of, you certainly, you sweated through some tough times with tech issues, which are incredibly frustrating. And, I think people recognize you for that. And I think maybe, it's one of those things where because it's you don't see what other people are, or maybe the other guys aren't that good at communicating the good things you do. And, like the 6 o'clock news, they only like reporting the negative things. Because I don't get a vibe from those guys that there's, anything in terms of major issues.
Okay.
And so, when I make, I sort of, I pull myself up tonight when I made that comment about the Muppets. Like I could see your body language change. And I was like, whoa, Benon's hypersensitive tonight. When I made jokes with you prior to Christmas about being, a drill sergeant, German, locked in numbers, freak focused type of, perfectionist.
Yep.
It didn't, it was just, you just took it. It was normal.
Yeah.
I just think I'm sensing right now, particularly after this conversation since 10:30, and there's people live on stream getting to see this sort of mate-to-mate therapy session, which I'm happy to share. I think you're heading back into a sensitive period again. I think your barometer's sensitive, and I'd love to help you out of it because I think you're a great guy, and that's love. Give us some love in the chat. Give us some love hearts, because I know what it's like that when you're hypersensitive to stuff and you think you're under attack or being excluded, or you're the butt of the jokes, or you're not part of the brotherhood. It's an awful place to be, and you shouldn't feel like that because.
But that's the thing. That's what I was. I was left out. Like, there's no doubt about that. I was told right from the horse's mouth that we had a group called Positive Vibes, and we didn't invite you because you're not positive.
Yeah, so but I think you're playing up that a little bit in the sense that, I don't know about that group, but if you think about the situation at hand, I've never heard about that group. I've never been invited to it. I don't know even if it still exists. But if you look at the timing of it, you say that it was straight after Pusa.
No, I was told about it after Pusha because I was talking to Jay. I was apologizing to Jay, and he said, "I accept the apology, and we really want you to be involved. And by the way, I want you to be invited to this group that we've got." And I was like, "Dude, I really wish you hadn't have kind of told me that you had that group, because that means there was always this kind of like this extra creator cast thing that wasn't me."
I think you're reading into it. I think you need to get to the bottom of it. You need to ask the boys, when was it created and why? And I reckon what you're going to find out is it was probably created after the Pusa incident to deal with the Pusa incident. You reckon it was set up beforehand?
It was before, because when you guys told me about what I did was wrong, there was a period of about 2 or 3 days where it sort of triggered off in my head, and then I ended up apologizing. Or it might have even just been the next day. I can't recall exactly. But Jay said we had this, we've had this thing where I want you to be in it, but you're not, because you're not positive. But you hit the nail on the head. The dynamics have changed. yeah,
I don't want you to be happy or sad. I want you to be you, and I want you to feel comfortable as you in this group that you helped create.
Yeah, and so do I. And it wasn't until that I said to myself, just just because this one thing happened doesn't mean that it's going to change me and the way that it shouldn't change me any more than what I let it change me. And unfortunately I let it go for so long where I was like just grinding up against a wall about this thing. And then I finally just went, you know what? Well, I didn't finally. You guys kind of got me to that point where I was like, they're right. Just let it go. Like, don't worry about it. And from that point in, I said to myself, let this person be this person, and you just be you. And
do you, mate? Everyone else is taken.
There was a comment there I was going to read earlier. Stephen McLaughlin said, "Benon, you're very quick to criticize others, and I think that can put people offside, which I think leads to these situations. Still, nothing wrong with that, and I think this group benefits greatly from." And then
from you, I think what he's trying to say.
Your input, but it can sometimes rub people the wrong way. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for that, Steve. I also think that it shouldn't never be a problem for mates to have a different opinion and to have a mindset that might contradict the other members of the team, if you like. So where I went wrong, and this is on me, but where I went wrong is that I never expressed what I wanted to say to this person at the time of it happening. And so I let that go, and I was like, fuck. And every time something else would happen, I'd be like, this is, and I never really went up and went, you know what, man, this is why I'm.
You could have killed it straight away, and then you let it build and build and build and build, and
I just saw more and more and more of the same umness, to use my own words. He just kept getting ummer until the point where I just went, I don't want to come back next year and create a cast and be involved with this person because of this. And then, and that's why we took a break, because on the one hand, we had all these plans and all these ideas, and
sorry, they're saying that we're delivering drama to rival Married at First Sight. I have my wife in the other room. She's written down the time codes of when the fights are, so I can just fast forward to the fights.
Okay.
Everyone else is taken.
Difference of opinion is what makes great conversation. People shouldn't take difference of opinion personally. Yeah, and further to that, you should be able to say, and this is what I've learned, you should be able to say what you want to say. And I feel like tonight is a pretty good example of that, because, and your TED talk, like I said, it all tied into this Rosie thing in my mind. You told me you didn't even think of Rosie while you were talking about it, but I was thinking about Rosie the whole time when I was watching your talk.
Why?
If I couldn't say to Jay the things that we brought up at the very beginning of this when he popped on, then that's me holding it in, and that's going to end up going back to what it was before. So I had to say and ask the questions, and I don't think they're offensive questions. I think they're legitimate questions. They're a series of questions that anyone else might be having in their own head when they think about how this all kind of came about. And yeah,
but sometimes, I think you've got to look at behavioral patterns over time. And sometimes for some people, having someone actually ask them straight questions can be considered passive aggressive. So I think I think you got to look at other people's points. If you're calling them out on a public forum, that's pretty, that can be pretty passive aggressive.
Yeah, totally.
When it's like, why didn't you just send me a message? We're connected. We're linked on Facebook. You got my phone number. Why don't you just ring me?
Yeah.
Why call it out in public? And then they get into a fight or flight situation where it's like, what's Benon trying to do here? Is he trying to trip me up? Is he trying to make me look like a fool? And in response, then they have to attack, or they have to set up a private group to chat with the others to make sure that their barometer is not the one that's off. I think there's there's triggers and nuances that lead to this sort of stuff, which essentially is the same as politics in business. And what you guys are really running here is, a business with no real money going through it. Essentially, you're all working together for a common goal, and politics plays a big part in that, and it's just the nature of being human. I would also question that maybe things get amplified for you because you're somewhat in an isolated location.
Yeah. Okay.
Monday to Friday, I think you're pretty, hidden away there, pretty remotely.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And out of all of us, you're probably creating the most content and most focused on this whole thing. So you're living and breathing it a lot more than a lot of us, where, I turn mine on and off as I please. Jay's got his own business. Danny's on cruise ships. Scotty's got a job as a locksmith. So there's a lot of different elements here that I think maybe it gives you a bit more time to sweat on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that amplifies it.
Totally valid, totally true. I'd agree with everything that you've said there. Maybe I need to. Well, actually, I don't think I need to make any changes on that level, because I feel like I'm back. Like everything's fine, but there is a change. There has definitely been a change. The dynamic has changed. It's not saying that it can't go back to what it was, but at the moment there's definitely
tension. I think there is. I mean, when I came on tonight, I felt a level of uncomfortableness when Jay was on.
But you got to look at the situation, though. What's happened? Like, this is nothing to do with before Christmas and the Fuchsia Studio stuff and whatever. But you got to look at what's happened in the last 2 weeks or whatever. Not even a week or whatever it's been. But Jay has just gone hell for leather on this Rosie thing. Whether it be right or wrong, wherever you fall on that coin, on that side of the argument, he's gone hell for leather with it. And there are questions that does raise. And if we can't, like I said earlier, if we can't raise those questions and have a genuine discussion about it and find the answers from him, then there is going to be a potential build-up of resentment further down the track. I feel like tonight we got straight answers from him. We got straight answers about what his intentions were, and that's what you said, the motivation, and what we got straight answers from you about how to make a viral video. You got to hit when the iron's hot. You got to go for the moment of true relevance or current relevance, and we got those answers. So like, you all know how I feel about that, and I made that extremely clear. Doesn't change how I feel about Jay and about how he's done it. That's what I'm kind of saying as a whole. Let him be him. He'll always be him. He'll always do that, and don't let that affect me. So
don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, well, that's it. And that's, I mean, yeah, but that's, you said.
But see, here's the thing, right? Here's how from a third party perspective, and I like both of you. Okay, I'm friends with everyone. I don't have any sides. I'm not in the core four.
Can I just stop you there quickly though? Because that's not what you said to me when we met. Like you said some very different things about Jay and about me when we met. So what's changed? Changed? Yeah.
Well, I didn't really know Jay, but on the day that we met Jay at the Tech and Gadget Show, and I've spoken to him about this, he basically ignored me.
You told me you came there to see him.
No, I didn't. I didn't know any of you.
No, you did. I could show you the messages. You told me you came there to see him specifically. And,
didn't know him.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But
reason I went to the Tech and Gadget Show, if you're going to bring it up, let's air it. The reason I went to the Tech and Gadget Show is because a friend of mine was doing the PR, and I made them a video as a vlog. I didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Okay.
Didn't know him. Didn't know you. Didn't know anyone. But I remember when I was speaking to Jay about vlogging, he didn't give me much.
Yeah.
but I didn't know him. So yeah, it's his choice to be how he is. So, you know, I've met him now. My opinion's changed. Absolutely.
Cool. That's what I'm saying. The dynamic has changed.
The dynamic has changed. Well, I think as people become friends, as people spend more time with each other and stuff, relationships change. My relationship with you, I hope, hasn't changed. You know, I love the Creator Cast group. I love being part of it. I think the opportunities you guys have afforded me have been fantastic. But I do see that there's tension that wasn't there previously. When you guys started, what was so magnetic about the group, and I think maybe this is part of the growing of the channel, it was just always focused on how can everyone grow together, what's going on, what's happening. And then I think we all got a bit sidetracked by tech is hard, and then some people showing up and others not. And I think that's just all part of being a group. It happens in team sport, it happens in people who go into business together. I mean, the worst experience I've ever had in my life is I had a business partner at one stage, and it was great for the first 3 months, and then for the second 6 months it was like, well, I'm doing all the work and you're not doing any, yet we're splitting the money 50-50. And once you get into that mindset, it's all over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what happened with CreatorCast. It was the four of us, but it wasn't the four of us doing all the work. But we've addressed that and we've rectified it. And I think these live chats like this, Google Hangouts, with
this last half hour has been.
We were going to knock it at 10:30. Let's knock it at 11, and then we're going to call it. Can I just acknowledge the chat? There's been some really good conversation going on. Gina, thanks for your support and for the nice words. And Milky Bar Kid, you found the nitty gritty. Make Test Battle says, yeah, look, Chandy say we've all grown together because of CreatorCast. The idea with CreatorCast from the outset was to grow our individual channels by having a cluster channel. That was the point of it, to be able to grow from having one channel that helps the four channels grow. That's why we started it. That's why we put all the work into it. But after a year of it, I mean, we still haven't even hit 400 subscribers, almost, a year and a half in.
But are you doing it for the numbers or are you doing it for the community?
Well, the reason we started it was to grow our separate channels. So it was just for the numbers. But what's grown from that is obviously the community. That's going to come, that's a byproduct, a beautiful byproduct of coming together for a chat, I mean, when we were sitting there in the pub in Melbourne, when we decided to do this, I'd never met Scott before, never met him before in my life. So, and I don't think Danny had met Jay. So it was all of us coming together to be like, hey man, this is going to be great. We'll just get together. We'll talk about YouTube, and we'll be able to grow our own channels. That's kind of why I said to Jay, can you get some of your 43,000 subscribers onto CreatorCast? Because that was the initial plan with why we did this.
So we've got a guy, Mick. I don't know if anyone knows him. Yeah. 00023. I haven't met Jay, but my right hand wants to met him.
What does that mean? He wants to slap him?
No.
Or he wants to shake his hand? Your right hand's the shaking hand.
I suppose we've got to measure him on intent and context, because that's what all this comes down to, right? It comes down to intent and context. And, you've raised tonight a private conversation that we had about, my opinion with Jay, and that, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like that type of tactic. I thought that was a bit cheap, but that's okay. That's cool. Okay. I'm not lying about it, but it was true. It was how I felt at the time. Doesn't mean that's how I feel forever.
Yeah. Well, I guess unless you let me know that, I would never know that. There was a point there when you'd call me up after a live stream didn't work, and give me advice. And I remember once I said, You know, I said it here on CreatorCast, you're like my mentor, and you like, don't ever call me that. I'm not your mentor. I was like,
I'm not your mentor, mate. You're well in front of me. Look, I'm here to help, and I'll help anyone anytime when they need it. And yeah, if you need support or whatever, I'm here, right? No problem. But yeah, since Christmas, I've only been focused on me, 100%. 100%. I actually even did a live stream on New Year's Day called 2019. And it was just, I am focusing 100% on me right now. It's my turn. And that was from Christmas to TEDx. That was it. And so if I've been vacant and, I don't want you reading into that. I think that's what you're doing. You're confusing different things.
Yeah.
Well, you're saying,
I've felt on the out.
I think you've sort of got this siege mentality, and I think what I'm trying to let you know is that you're making a bigger deal of it in your head than you're giving it more oxygen than what it actually has. If you know what I mean?
Okay.
From my point of view, anyway. I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm not. I'm being 100% honest with you. I'm not hearing anything that would make me say, "Hey, man, don't do this." And you know me. I've called you out when I've called you out.
Yeah.
And I've complimented you when you've done great. That's the kind of guy I am.
Yep. No, that's nice.
So
I take that.
So what did Gina say? Go. So that's it. Man, I think we're just, it's all good, man. So we're in a great place. We're in the best country in the world. We've shared a lot of love and a lot of honesty here tonight, and that's, if that helps, that's all it's here for, right? All I can give is my opinion. I don't guarantee it's right.
I think one time there we changed the name of CreatorCast to it was going to be called CreatorCast Vlog Therapy. I think maybe we should revisit that, because this has been good tonight.
Yeah, I think it is good. It's good. It's good. You've got to get it out, and because I think you sweat on things.
Yeah, I think you're right. You nailed it with the isolation thing, and like not having the quick and easy access to someone else to hang out with and to maybe blast off some steam or whatever. I'll do that to camera in one way or the other, like whether it be on my channel or a vlog or whatever it is. Yeah, and I have noticed that there's been less and less of the good times, if you like.
Yeah, but I as I was saying before, I think you're reading into it a little bit, because I actually think that the Creator Cast group's been quiet too since Christmas. Now, some of that's my fault because I've been isolating myself. I think Danny's been away a lot with no real internet.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't mix with Scott as much as the other two. It's just because he works, I suppose. There's nothing against it. It just hasn't happened. And and with you, I've tried to be on your chats whenever I can, and it's just 9 o'clock Saturday mornings when you've got two kids who play sport. It's hard.
That's all right. They'll get longer and longer, those streams. By the time it'll be 3 p.m. anyway, and that's the idea with the longer 12-hour streams. Gina, anyway, thanks for watching the whole way through. She's wanted to watch. Good, honest convo. You're all growing, changing. I want to get to know you guys better. Thanks, Make Test Battle. It's not a bad thing. It's not anything. It just is. Yeah, true. All right. Well, how about we wrap it? We were going to wrap it at 10:30. It's now 11:03.
That's what happens when you and I get together. We chat.
Dude, I could do this every week. This is like the Let It Out farm.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I think what's also important is when you turn this stream off, you don't go and beat yourself up.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think you've done anything wrong.
It's not like I'm going to beat myself up, but I will think about the stream, and I will reflect on, you just alluded, or you just told me that you weren't happy with something that I said in the stream. So I am going to
okay. I wasn't happy about the joke that I made on Facebook Messenger with you yesterday, which was, you said, I think I'm going to do a, so guys in the chat, just wait for this one. I thought this was some of my best work, but it backfired. You said, I think I'm going to go and do a live stream about all things negative.
Yes.
And my cheeky smartass response, which was very insensitive, given I thought you'd take it in a different way, was awesome. Finally, you'd be doing a stream with some clear direction. And that went down like a lead balloon with you.
Yeah.
And as soon as you wrote back, wow, in lowercase, I went, oh God, he didn't take it the way I meant it. And I apologize sincerely for that publicly. I apologized yesterday at the time. And it was just a joke. Guys, it was a nasty joke that hit Ben on in the heart because he works hard on his streams. He's invested a lot in his streams. And, I was having a little stab and he didn't take it the way it should have been taken. So that's, that's pretty blunt. It was, but it was a joke and it didn't land properly. And sometimes jokes don't. And when they don't, you have to correct it. And that's what I'm doing. And I corrected it as soon as I realized it didn't land. And, that's just what happens sometimes. But I hope you don't carry it.
Yes, I'm not. And I'm smiling now thinking back to it because it is a kind of a funny joke. If you were sitting at a bar talking about it and you just made that jab, that would be a laugh. But the thing that got me about it was that it was in this new group chat, which you guys had made clear.
I started it.
The happy, what is it? The happy.
No, it was called the Wave Riders Club originally.
Yeah, which was about riding waves. That's a dig at me. And the Happy House Wave Riders Club.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, because I was saying that I don't think we should be using the analogy of riding a wave.
It was actually called It was actually called the Creator Crew to start with.
Yeah, and then when I said, so
Creeky
this is now public space as well. But then I said on that group chat, hey, I think we should stop with the riding of the wave analogy, because dropping in on a wave on someone when you're surfing, which is where the analogy comes from, you'll get your head punched in. And then Jay jumped in and said, well, I politely disagree with you because this is not surfing. And I was saying, well, that's where the saying comes from. So if you're going to use a saying that's...
Yeah, but I don't think riding a wave is the same as dropping in on someone, because dropping in's a dog act.
Well, that's
surfing.
exactly what Jay did.
But riding a wave,
Jay dropped in on Lukey's wave. Jay dropped in on Lukey's wave and rode it further than Lukey did, and is still riding it now. And I said that in that chat, and then you guys changed the name of it to the Wave Riders Club.
I changed that.
This is just...
That was me. I was in a mood yesterday. People in the chat. I was sitting here in my office, isolated, and
so then when that joke landed on me, I was like, man, what's the point? That's why I said I don't even want to be in this group chat, because it's just stupid, false positivity when I can't see a positive thing about it.
No, but Jay, but I think, I mean, we're going around in circles a little bit, but yes, Jay is riding the Rosie wave. Absolutely. But he admits it. Yeah. He admits it.
Yeah, we got that tonight, and I feel like that's good. We got around, we got to the bottom of it.
And the way I see it is that, man, I should be better at riding waves. Like, as long as it's within my channel. How can I, if I was more, I don't know, up to speed with what I should be doing to grow a channel, I should be trying to dissect why one Rosie video went viral and the others didn't.
Well, but you know why.
But then would I be riding the wave?
Well,
yes, I would be, and I'd be doing it on purpose to get views.
Yeah, that's kind of different, because if you were to make a video about that, you would be looking at it from what you call the viral DNA, which is not. You're not going to go out there and
I'm not in direct competition, I think is what you're saying.
Yeah, you're not going to exactly. You're not going to go down there and film the exact same thing that Lukey did, are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to cut this at 11. It's now 11:08, and that kills me because we got to go to 10:00.
See, that's the German number thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's in your DNA.
I can certainly take a joke. Like, no sweat about jokes. I can deliver a joke. I can take a joke. But when as you correctly pointed out, when the dynamic has changed for whatever it is now, which it is now, if it's going to be the air needs to be clear before you can deliver a joke along those kind of lines, especially in a group that changed the name to the Happy Wave Writers Club. Like, come on, man.
That was me. You changed the name too. You changed the name of the conversation.
I changed it to something like the negative, not everything's positive club or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think, but I think what we've done tonight, at least it's out there now.
Yeah, I feel like it was already
Let's
out
clear
there,
it.
to be honest. But
the last 40 minutes indicates that there was still more to be spoken about.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here, right?
I guess so. But I mean, if Jay didn't put out like if Lukey's video went and it went to like it did, I think it got to like 9 million or something before Jay put out his. If Jay didn't put out a video and Lukey's thing just went viral and we all, if we all did what basically Scotty did and just said, well done, Luke, good work, man, I'm going out and exploring abandoned houses. If we all did that and just let Luke have his thing, that would have just been we wouldn't even really be having this conversation now.
Yeah, but where do you draw the line? Because you guys had Lukey on your show a number of times and you even used his thumbnail and that got you about 5x more views than normal.
But that was a complete test. We were doing that as a test to see if it does actually change anything. That's not trying to like steal the story. That's, hey, if we put a thumbnail that's identical to his thumbnail and title it almost the same, will we get the views as
But I don't think yes, Jay was riding the wave to get views, but never I would say that in every video he mentioned Lukey Mack. He acknowledged him. He credited him.
Absolutely.
And I think, you got to look at that and say, okay, yes, he was trying to ride the wave, but I think saying stealing is a step too far. I don't think he was trying to steal it. I think he was just trying to join the craze.
It's like dropping in and looking over to the other guy and just like going, I'm here too. I'm here. I acknowledge that you're over there, but I'm over here doing it as well. That's how I saw that. But, and I'm just saying it matter of factly, the fact that Jay did make that video or that series of videos is the exact example of what I need to do. It's what I reflected on over the Christmas break and when we took the break from CreatorCast. Let him do what he does. Let him do it. Doesn't affect me. Like why should that affect me? Let him do that crap. Let him do what he does. He can have it. Let him be.
But see, even describing it as crap.
Because that's my opinion.
He's putting the emotive in it, right?
My opinion of what he did was wrong, and I wouldn't do it on my channel. But let him do it.
Yeah, I would.
Just like I wouldn't go to Casey Neistat's place and film his building and then try to pretend that, well, I was doing a time lapse because I was going to get some battery from the only B&H store that's in the city, and then try to make a story out of it and then interview some other dude that was like, just that kind of stuff I would not do, but he does, and he's continuing to do it. Let him do it. That's all I'm saying. Let him do it. Not what I want to do.
That's okay. That's okay. You're you, and people love you for you. Okay? And Jay's Jay, and no one's asking you to live with Jay or be in Jay's life or have Jay in your house.
That's the thing. CreatorCast, we had to make a decision. Are we going to continue CreatorCast or are we not going to continue CreatorCast?
Yeah, but you're an adult. You can make your own decisions. If it gets too much for you to bear, then you've got to sit down with yourself and say, okay, is this causing me too much angst? Is this no longer worth it?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Right? But that's you as an adult. You're an adult. Oh, but even now, like, so you've let what Jay did with Rosie churn you up again. It's like we're almost back.
No, that's
to blue shirt guy all over again.
That's the thing.
Blue shirt. I'm blue shirt guy tonight.
That's the difference, though, Creeky. That's why it's different now. Is because since the Pusha Studios fly off, I've realized that I don't have to let him affect me. He can do that. And I just won't be involved. But because of CreatorCast, we have to have this interaction. So if I can't ask Jay questions, and if I can't ask him a general question about what he's doing and why he's doing it on CreatorCast, then I can't.
But I don't think anyone has ever said you can't. I think that I think where we're dealing with nuances here, and I think it comes down to whether you're simply asking a question or whether you're letting it bug you and it's a bit passive aggressive.
It's not passive aggressive because I let him know. Like,
yeah, but when you say to him, but when you use terms like "I'll let him do that crap," people sitting there go, "Oh, hold on a minute, that's got emotions behind it," rather than, "Jay, why did you do that?"
But everything's got emotions behind it. The emotion of me is frustration, bewilderment, shock, and
but you can understand. But you can say, "Hey, Jay, why are you doing that crap?" Right? That's a lot more degrading or more attacking, confronting to someone than saying, "Well, why did you do that?" Don't you see that other people say, "Yeah, I think we're just." I think we're sweating on words here. I don't think Jay's ever hidden away from answering your questions, and I don't think he's ever said, Don't let Ben on answer me." I don't think he's ever tried to gag you or censor you, has he? No,
but you are missing just one thing, and it's unfortunate that I can't really. I'm not going to explain it literally because Jay and I have already gone over it and rectified it. But there is one thing that.
Oh, I know what it is.
It never got explained. Never got.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
So once that,
it's a video that was made and removed, and in regards to.
Well, if you want to bring that up, that's on you. But
no, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, so that's cool.
But my thing is, I resolved that with Jay, and I directly spoke about what we've already gone through this, but
I know.
Yeah, and so to get past that now.
So how do we what can we do to help you feel better? That's all we're at here. That's all I'm here for. I can see you're not comfortable and you're not happy.
I would say,
and we can't rewind. We can't wind the clock back. Like we're not on Back to the Future.
Just just no fake false positivity. That's just be people. Be people that can be negative, that can have a little bit of a negative twist to something. Like don't always, like nothing should always be rosy tinted. Yeah, like that. Yeah, just be normal.
I think life comes in cycles. Yeah, my life right now is super positive.
Absolutely.
Like, I've had a week from nowhere, right? And I wish everyone could experience it.
Yeah.
I wish that for the world, right? So yeah, I don't think I think there's a line between fake positivity and humor or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. It was just it was just a fun thing when I started. It was originally just set up to ask a question, and then it just became something else and changed the color.
I felt like that was at my expense, and that's the point. Like it's most of these things of late have been at my expense.
Oh, look, I think in that chat, the Happy House Wave Riders absolutely was targeted at you in that conversation. But it wasn't premeditated or anything like that. It was because you came in and said, "I'm going to be negative," and so
No, I didn't come in saying that. I came in and suggested.
You said about the wave, right?
Yeah, I said maybe we shouldn't be using this optics in this conversation. I'm trying to get back to it where it literally was what I said, but it wasn't a negative thing. It was just, hey, this is what I think it is. And I'm speaking from a surfing. Yeah, I'm just going to read it.
Yeah, look, I don't think we need to go down there. But anyway.
Yeah.
And then Danny comes on and tells his story about the guy wanting him to play stuff. And
yeah, look,
I don't think the people in the chat even understand what we're talking about anymore. So let's take it offline. I don't want you to feel outcast. I don't think that anything is. I don't think there's any agenda. I don't think there's anything that I know of. Maybe I haven't got any issues. And I just, I don't want you to feel the way that you're feeling because I've experienced it in my life previously.
Thank you.
So you know that you can always reach out.
Thank you.
And I think that goes to everyone in the chat. If you're ever feeling like this, reach out to someone.
Or form a channel where 4 people get together and discuss things.
Unless that adds more stress to your life.
Ban Benon.
No
Jeez.
way. We're not banning Benon. We're embracing Benon.
I thought we were going to end on a good note here.
We're embracing Benon. That's what it's about. He's feeling...
Thanks,
feeling
Milky
like...
Bar Kid.
I mean, you guys had a great thing going. And I think that you can get it back. I think it's not far away.
Yeah. I had to just make some changes in my head, and once I did that, this is a good test of that, actually. This whole Rosie stuff.
Well, I think the risk is that you're overthinking things. So just relax.
Cool. All right.
Just do you, man. That's how you ended up here in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, we're going to say good evening, good night, good morning from wherever you are. I know Milky Bar, he's going to go and have lunch.
Don't give me a hug. Come on.
We're hugging through the Look at that. You can't really do this on this chat because when one person talks.
What do the Vietnamese do? They do this. It's their little love heart logo that they do.
Do they?
In their little photos everywhere.
Hey,
Peace.
Anybody that's still here now from the whole way through, Xander Round, you were at the very front too. I know you've probably had work to go to as well at the same time.
We've got to go. We're out.
All right,
I'm
guys.
out.
Good night. Thanks, Creeky. Thanks, everybody.
Peace, man.
See you the same time next week for more heartstring moments and tugs.
Didn't that take a turn?
Certainly
First
did.
we're riding the TEDx wave, and now